1% 그래. Good evening, everybody, and welcome, everybody. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Lesson 1 live stream, the first kanji live stream, even though it is our fourth one in the series. But how's it going? How you doing, Yuki?
ちょっと緊張しています。
Well, she's a little bit nervous. We look a little bit brighter this week than we did last week.
そう、ちょっとね、ゾンビから生き返ってきました。
We looked like zombies last week. A little bit more light going on in this. You can probably see the reflections
そう、
in the
ね、
window.
バルブをね、入れました、ちゃんと。
Yeah, I
抜
added
けて
bulbs.
たけどね、大丈夫。
We did a lot of different stuff this week. Lots of prepping this area, cleaning, fixing light bulbs, all kinds of stuff. It's been a fun week. How's everyone doing today? Love the matching outfits again, says Katie. Yeah, we want to hear a secret. We were actually wearing something different, and then someone at the premiere said, I wonder if they'll be matching again today. And I was like, wait, you actually have a shirt that's like just like this. She's like, I'll go change. So she just changed into this
はい、これ本当は明日の服だったけどね、もう今日着ます。
This is supposed to be her clothes for tomorrow.
やべえ。
But you got us. Good morning, Almanacs. How you doing? Flannel day. It was flannel day at work too. Really? It's cold, man. It was like that. As soon as we got here, it was super cold. Someone mentioned, I hope the jet lag isn't so bad today. How's the jet lag, Yuki?
ね、なんかね、眠いんだよ、ずっと。
She says, I'm sleepy always.
なんかさ、私の唯一のさ強み、私の唯一の強みはさ、なんかどこでも寝れることだったのに。
Right. So her superpower is that she can fall asleep anywhere, anytime. Just it's a superpower.
そう。だけどもね、もう夜寝られないよ。
But recently she can't sleep at night. Well, you fall asleep fine. But she wakes up at like 4 in the morning and it's just like this.
そう、やばいよね。
Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll roll over and be like, oh, she's awake.
そう。
And then we'll be like watching something with my grandmother at, I don't know, 6 p.m. and she'll just be like,
やばい。大問題です、本当に。
Well, she's still struggling with the jet lag. I, on the other hand, I'm good. I'm back to normal. I'm ready to go. I'm excited.
だから逆にもうジェットラグじゃなくなってきたんじゃねえかと思って、もう私のライフスタイルがね、多分夜7時に超眠くなって、朝2時に起き上がるっていう。
She says she doesn't think it's jet lag anymore. Oh, wait. She doesn't think it's jet lag anymore. She just thinks this is her life now. So she gets really sleepy at 6 o'clock and then she wakes up at 2 in the morning. And that's it. That's her life. A few hours means you can wear it tomorrow too. Exactly. That's what she said. She says, I can still wear it tomorrow if it's just a live stream. It's chilly. It's not like we're going to get all sweaty up in here. あのシャツは綺麗 says Call Me XS. Thank you so much.
ね、こっちの方がなんかさ、ビビッドな感じ。
It's hot in Minnesota. It was like 66 degrees Fahrenheit here today.
何？
Yeah.
私もミネソタに行きたいな。
It's 80 in Chicago. What's going on in New Jersey?
寒いんですけど。
Alyssa says, what's your favorite place we've both visited?
in America?
Just in general? I'm guessing in general. Together, New Zealand for me. I love New Zealand. Alone outside of Japan, Spain. Yuki wa?
そうね。なんか牡蠣が食べられる場所だったらどこでもいいかな。
If you can eat oysters there, anywhere is fine. I don't know if that's an answer or not, but that's her answer. 質問 Why couldn't Japan...
So far, ニュージーランドと、
So far, New Zealand
ここもそうだし、日本も行けてる。
Oh, in Japan you can eat oysters.
シンガポールも行けてる。
Hold on. There's a question. Why couldn't Japanese numbers be as simple as Roman numerals? Why does Japan also use Arabic numerals? And how am I supposed to remember how to pronounce different counters, such as ichi, hitori? You get used to them, and you're just going to learn words. We're not going to learn how to read each kanji separately from words. We're going to learn words, and then you'll be able to read them. Japanese is a very, very old language, as is Chinese. So They had their own writing system before they ran into Roman numerals and Arabic numerals, so they use those. But it's much easier, and the rest of the world uses Arabic numerals, not everywhere, but many places, so they also use those. They're easier. It was 90 degrees Fahrenheit in San Antonio today. I do not envy you. Yuki might. I missed the weekend stream due to terrible Canadian internet. I'm sure this was answered. Where are you on the East Coast? New Jersey. You may have heard that a moment ago. Wow, I got a different cable in the mail about an hour ago. I found it outside. And the camera looks so much better. I'm actually shocked how much different it is. Time is an illusion anyway. I agree. Well, no, I don't know if I agree with that or not. The early to mid-fall is a really nice time to be here. I agree. Yuki wa zenkai. Yuki's only ever been here in winter.
そう、初めてね、寒くないシーズンに来たはずだったんですけれども。
Yeah, she thought for the first time, and I thought too, that she would finally be able to be here at a not cold time.
一日しか T シャツじゃなかったよ、私まだ。
There's only been one day so far where she was able to wear a T-shirt. I was in a T-shirt all day until like afternoon I switched.
スリーブがないとね、もう生きられないから。
She can't survive without sleeves now. Today I thought it was really nice though, outside. It's a little chilly inside, but New Zealand, home of the hobbits. That's why I fit in so well, because I'm a hobbit. Was a cool 50F in Iowa. All right. It's getting cold out already, says Scooby-Doo. My mom used to live in Gibraltar, Spain. Nice. I walked from Sevilla in the south up to Santiago in the north, so about 38 days, and then to the sea. And then I ran with the bulls in Pamplona and walked to Burgos, I believe. It was another week or two. I spent like 2 months there. Yeah, Spain was fun. That was 2011. I just realized I'm scrolled way up in the chat. If you want beautiful scenery, definitely come to Banff. Banff. I used to snowboard there on a video game on Xbox back in the early 2000s.
Oh.
Amped. And Amped 2. Amped in Banff. The counters were only bad when doing homework. In daily life, not too bad. Agreed. All right, so you guys just missed an absurd heat wave, but I think that's also not what you want. No, definitely not. I'm cool with this. I'm fine. I like fall, personally. Yuki could probably use warmer weather.
I like fall too だよ. Because we can eat like good phrase. ちょっと日本語だったわ今日。あれ秋はね、キノコが取れるし。
In fall you can get mushrooms.
果物が美味しいし。
Fruits are delicious.
ね、あと魚に脂が乗ってくる。
And fish start getting more fatty. You can speak in English if you want. She's been having to speak a lot of English here.
そう、私はね、ストラゴをしてるんですよ。
That's her struggle recently.
ね、みんなの気持ち同じ。
She understands how you all feel because she too is a learner.
もう英語もできないのに、なんか日本語もなんかできなくなっていくんですよこれ。なんか
She says she has a hard time with English and she's starting to be able to not do Japanese as well. By the way, take a look at the that's wrong. Take a look at that. Yoroshiku no. She just drew that before the stream started.
ちょっと
Yoroshiku no, says Ando-san. He hasn't showed up in a video in a while. We'll have to bring him back up again. Chestnuts too, yes. Although, I don't know, we don't get many chestnuts here on the East Coast, but in Japan, yes, it's chestnut season. I had to switch from Mandarin this morning to Spanish. My daughter struggled with a word in her novel. Ooh. なんだって?
何も
Oh, so I thought you were saying something.
何も言ってません。
初
めてさ、ね、キツツキ見た。
何見た?
キツツキ。
何それ?
ウッドペッカーですよ。
キツツキって言うんだ。She saw a woodpecker for the first time.
ね、屋根をね、つついてんですよ。
I don't know if that was the roof. It was literally right outside this window. There's like it overhangs over the window.
でも家の一部ですよね。
And it's part of the house, yeah. And it was pecking on the house, like trying to get bugs out of the old walls.
なんかそういうとこがさ、アメリカって自由な国だなって思うよね。
Even the birds are free. Most of the live streams have been at 1 a.m. for me, so I'm glad this one is running now and I'm able to catch it early. Nearly lunchtime in Australia. Nice. Yeah, this is This is a bit earlier than we're normally going to do the streams, but while we're here in the States, so for like the next week or so, we will be doing them around this time. 9 o'clock is much easier for us, especially with the jet lag that Yuki and myself have been dealing with. So we'll be doing the premieres from 9 o'clock Eastern Standard until we get back to Japan. Then it'll move back to 9:30, so 30 minutes later. Then this.
はい、ベッドタイムっていうのこういう時って
Bedtime?
ボー
Huh?
あ、ポール
Huh?
なんかあと私たちは何回アメリカで
あー
ライブストリームするでしょう。
Hi. Oh, I see. It's time for a quiz, a poll or a quiz. She says, how many more times do you think we will be doing live streams in America, not Japan's? How many are left in America? How many do you think? I don't actually know. I have to look it up.
私たち答え
I
を知
can't
らない
remember. Hold on. How many is it left?
Calendar
We don't know the
ないの
answer. So you got to
calendar.
guess in chat. Let's see. We've got I see. It's kind of a trick question because I haven't decided on this last one. If we're going to do it the night before we fly or not. Someone said 2. Even the birds are free. She saw a bald eagle the other day when we were driving.
そう毎回ねボールドイーゴいるんですよなんか
2, ichi, 2. There's the kanji 2 from somebody. Hey you, 2.
そう
You look well.
今日やってるやつだから
Thank you,
ね今日
Addison
やってる
Parent.
やつの漢字の中に答えがあります
2 more times. Ooh. 今名古屋に住んでいる日本語を勉強しているんですが日本人と話すときにはちょっと今から1年ぐらい勉強した I see. That's normal. It took me a long time. Specifically, it was the hardest for me was like speaking one-on-one with a Japanese person I was able to do relatively quickly because people would, slow down when they're just talking to me. But when I had to try and get into conversations with multiple Japanese people while they were also talking to each other, that took 2 or 3 years, I'd say. And probably 3 or 4 probably 3 before I became more comfortable. Quite comfortable.
なるほどね
結構時間かかる。難しいよね。It's difficult.
そうだね
Like when me and Grandma are talking, ちょっと。
それはね一生入っていけないんで
She
す
feels like she'll never be able to get in
な
there.
んかねだってねなんかトピックが難しいんですよなんか
1 million said I hope not. I don't know if I did streams every single day for the rest of my life if I'd be alive for 1 million.
こういうのってさ、なんかビデオで言っていいのかわからないんですけど、なんかコンスティペーションやばくない？
それはやめた方がいいかな。
あ、ごめん
She's
今
having a
の
hard time with the food here.
ごめん今の聞かなかった
ことに
してほしい。
France says 4. Alyssa says 2. So Almanac says 6. So the consensus seems to be 2. Seems to be the average. You're almost right. It could be 2, but it will likely be 3 more. So lessons 1, 2, 3, and 4 will all be here in the States. We fly tomorrow morning in 3 live streams. So in you know what I mean? What am I trying to say? Really early, we have to fly after what would be the live stream night. So we might push it back a day or something like that, but we'll see. So it should be 3 times.
Likely 3 times でしょ
Likely 3 times in America, which is why we worked on getting this looking okay.
今日やりましたよね私たち3
We did the number 3?
そのパターンのやつねパターンの
We
や
did.
つ
So the one before yeah. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got a
崩
pattern.
れる前
Aha! Pattern! I'm having a tough time in general. Listening is my soft spot, which is funny because that wasn't a problem when learning English. Interesting.
ありがとうござい
Yeah,
ま
it takes
す
time.
ありがとうございます
便秘は大変です。お大事に says Jacob. Someone got that, eh? If you have time before the live stream officially starts reviewing the previous video, can you explain Kane's or Kin's stroke order? Yuki, can you go ahead and write Kin on
はい
for
じゃ
Alyssa?
あこの安藤さんにはさぶち消えてもらえ
Bye bye,
るんです
Ando-san. See you, Ando-san.
ごめんね今日お疲れ様でした安藤さんの出勤これで終わりだから
はい、Ando-san is off for the day.
はい金ね
Yes. Who was saying that? Sumo. Well, she's writing kin, so kin. Okay, so there we go. Let's stop there. So we've got iyo iyo shitamade de iyo. Hi, okay. That's okay. So first we got the roof, right? So you write that first on top because, roofs always are written first up top. Then there's one. One is the next part, right? Then we could think of the next part as either, you could think of it as 10 or you could think of it as dirt. So we're to there. So the next part is the dots, eh? Right, the dots, yeah. So those come next because they're actually part of the part or the radical, which is like, they look like horns basically. It's the top of the kanji before mai. So it's got the 3 dots and then the bottom line. So those are all a single part. So you write them last because they're going to come last. You could also think of it as dirt if you would like to. I think that might be the official part for it. But those dots will come before the piece below it.
一応ね、もうオレンジが用意されていたんで、ここにこれがあるということでね。
Right, so that's like dirt, right? But before you can finish off dirt, you need to put the dots above it first. Generally the dots or these little, dots, what else could I call them, come before the pieces below them. So like if they're on top, you write them first. If they're inside, you write them before the part below them, things like that. It's something we'll cover when we start running into the dots later in the series, but I hope that makes sense. Okay. Holy crap, I should get a whiteboard. Yeah, they're quite nice. I enjoy having them for the stream. It's really cool to be able to go like this. Boom.
どうオレンジって見えにくい?
No, orange is fine. You can see the orange, right, guys? Let us know. I love your channel, Andy. I'm going to Japan for the first time this spring. My sister's having her wedding there, and I'm so excited. That's awesome, Daniel. Have a great time.
いいね.
Just joined. Hi, Matthew. How's it going?
ありがとうございます.
All right, someone was talking about why don't I teach blah, 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 blah. Sumo, thanks for the video. Please add the Japanese sounds to the kanji. No, I will not be doing that. Somebody already mentioned that. Videos become impossibly long and complicated if he... Well, no, it's not that. I don't think that's a good way to learn kanji. I explained that in my very first video about learning kanji. I'm totally against learning these sounds for each kanji when just learning what they mean and how to write them. I don't think it's efficient. I don't think it's easy to remember. I think it just makes them confusing and unnecessarily complicated. So I will be teaching the meanings alone and how to write them. And then when we're done going through the first part, which is like 118 kanji, 20-something videos, then we'll just be doing words. We'll learn words that use all the kanji we just learned. And if you can read those words, you'll know how to read them in other kanji. That's just how it works. So you learn words, and that helps you read the kanji. We're not going to learn reading separately. It has nothing to do with the videos being too long. If I thought that was a good way to learn it, I would make the videos too long. But I don't think it's a good way to learn them.
そうだね。そうじゃないと私と同じね、ウェイになっちゃう。
Yeah, you'll be doing it the same way it took her, what, 11 years? You want to take 11 years to learn kanji?
ずっと書くだけ。
Right. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you want to take 11 years to learn kanji, go for it.
でも、
That's not what I want to do.
私その書くの一個だけすごいいいことあると思うんですよ。
はいはい。She says she thinks there's one good thing about writing over and over and over and over and over again.
よく見てそのお手本をね、てか本物の字をよく見て。
So you look at the right one really well and then you
よ書けば超上手くなる。
You'll become very good. Yeah, if you write it a million times, your handwriting will start to look very good. Is that the only benefit?
まあ、
I don't know if I buy that though.
ボケないかもしれない、もしかしたら。
Oh, you might not.
なんか
get Alzheimer's?
かもしれない。
Maybe. I don't buy you'll get really good because I've written English for all my life and my English writing is terrible.
さ、教科書の字とか見てちゃんと書いた？
I did. You had to trace. Did you guys do this in school? You trace the letters and then you write it 50 times, just like Japanese people do with kanji. I did that in school for many years.
それ何回
And my handwriting is terrible.
何回書いた？
No, it's terrible. Have you guys seen my handwriting? Oh my god, it's so bad. Let's pull this up. Okay, let's just see. Give me something to write in chat. Just give me Give me a short sentence and I'll write it. Anything is okay.
マジ
Just say, for Andy, I wish Wanikani allowed to skip the readings. I wish Wanikani allowed you to do a lot of things. If you could, skip the readings, and if you could go at your own pace, I'd probably just recommend that, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. There's other things I don't like about it, but... Congratulations. Who was that signed up for the JLPTN5? Denver. All right. Yep, penmanship cursive. For Andy, how's it going? The weather is nice today. How's it going? The
本当に真面目に書いてる
weather is nice today. All right. Let's see how that looks. Bring it up on the overhead. Hi, how's it going? The weather is nice today. Well, it could be worse. I think it looks better without... I think it looks better on a whiteboard than it did with pen. Kaylee, thank you so much. My 4-year-old loves when I sing your tapeworm song to her. Really? Most people...
すごいもう歌えちゃうじゃん
Also, my name is pronounced Kaylee. Would Katie be a good way to kanify it, do you think? Kaylee, Katie.
かなで書いてほしいってこと
これで合ってると思う。ケイリーはケイリーだとどう思いますか？
ケイリーはこれなんていうの本当にケイリー。あ、じゃあオッケー。
She says yes. Okay. And thank you so much for the donation. That means, of course, that your name gets kanjified by Yuki on this beautiful, well, my beautiful handwriting has to go away. Now Yuki's going to go ahead and...
ケイリーの方がいいのかなそれともさ、自分の名前の方がいいの
どういうこと名前がケイリーだよ。名前がそうやって発音するんだから。
マイネームと言っているから、そうか、娘の名前かと思っちゃった。
じゃなくて自分の名前です。
はい、ケイリーね。
Alright, so Kaylee, Yuki is going to go ahead and write your name in kanji. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
ありがとうございます。
The thing that killed Wanikani for me was forcing me to learn radicals that were exactly the same as a
少々時間
kanji,
くださいね。
but then also putting a made-up different meaning on them. Oh yeah, no, that was what killed me, because I was actually in the beta for Wanikani way back in the day, and I had just finished RTK, or I was nearly finished, so I still had all the names of the radicals that RTK used, and I had also started learning some of the true names for them, and I ran into, there was one of the first kanji that showed up. They had like a weird name that had nothing to do with the kanji at all. I don't know, it was like I don't know, I can't remember. And I was like, what, why? And then I think that's what made me quit, actually, almost immediately. That, and I had to get stopped. Like, they were like, okay, you can't do any more today. I was like, nope. But that was like 7 years ago. It's gotten better since then, I'm sure. Well, being Japanese, she learned the words in spoken form first as a child, and then she learned the written form in school later on. Not a 100% fair comparison to Japanese as a second language. Of course not. But it still took 11 years just writing over and over again. So I think even adults who are learning it as a second language, it'll take a long time. Jodan. My Japanese name is pronounced Jodan, which means joke, apparently. I'm gonna go by a nickname in Japan. Jodan, yeah. It does, but you could extend it. Jodan. If you extend it out like that, Jodan, it'll sound more like a name.
そうそう、ジョーダンだったね。
Jodan.
それ、あれだね。ピッチアクセントだよね、それきっと。
Not just pitch accent, but that's also like a...
冗談だったら、ジョークスになるでしょ。そうだね。
そう。
冗談だったら、名前なんだよね。
冗談。One more time, the joke one?
冗談。
冗談. So that's the word for joke, so that's the pitch accent. But if you go down in the last one, 冗談. Then it sounds like a name. So that's one of the situations where a pitch accent can help you a little bit. That's something I gotta work on one of these days. I've been signed up for Dogen's Patreon for, I think this will be my second or third year, annual. I really gotta use it. Anyway, okay, so Yuki forgot that she was working. Oh, she didn't forget. Okay, we were having a different conversation. She's still working. Let's see how far she's gotten. we got talking about pitch accent. Love the matching shirt vibes. First time catching your streams as Emily Ferry. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for stopping by. Poor Jornum, the gentle giant. I like that one kind of lets me write my own mnemonics in, because seriously, some of them are so bad. I think it's a good idea, yeah, to be able to write your own, because at least, oh, already done. Yeah, it's definitely a nice feature. Are you ready? This is Kaylee's name in kanji. Thank you so much again, Kaylee. はい、お願いします。
この K は結ぶっていう字なんですけど、
This kanji K is to tie things together, or to connect them.
To knot って感じ
Or to knot them together, yeah.
そう、
Okay.
なんか日本だとそのさ神社とかだとそのいい縁とその結ぶっていう感じはこれですね。
At like shrines and stuff, to tie you together to good luck and things like that, they use this kanji.
そう。でこの D はジャスミンの D です。
And this D is the kanji for jasmine. So,
はい。
tying together with jasmine. Katie. Thank you very much, Katie-san.
まあ難しいよね。
It's definitely
でも
difficult,
結
but
構い
still
い
cool.
か、
I think it's a nice.
日本人にもいそう。
She says she thinks that there's probably even Japanese people with a name like this. It does sound like a Japanese name if you say
まあ確か
Katie-san.
にケイリーだからね。
ね。いえいえ、こちらこそありがとうございます。はい、Duolingo がいいですか? I don't know. I've never used Duolingo in my life, so I know nothing about it. I just hear people always complaining that they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and they make millions and millions of dollars on silly things when they still don't have native recordings for any of the audio on any of their languages. So I don't know how well they prioritize things people actually want. That's the only thing I know about Duolingo, so I don't know if it's good or not. My daughter started Japanese on Duolingo for the fun of it. She now can say a nice doctor. Nice.
すごい。頑張ってください。
I noticed pitch accent is automatically shown when you start searching around learning. Is not yeah. So interesting fact. I started learning Japanese in 2012, so 11 years ago, and I didn't even hear about pitch accent in the learning community until about 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't know it was a thing until 3 or 4 years after I started learning, when I was out to drink with someone and someone asked me if I could hear the difference between hashi and hashi.
Hashi and hashi.
Hashi and hashi.
で、
So,
hashi だよね。
point being, someone asked me if I could hear the difference between bridge and or between chopsticks and bridge, and I said, what? And so pitch.
And edge.
Yeah, sure. There's edge as well. It's like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, they're different, blah, blah, blah. It was a Japanese person. I was like, what? I never heard of this. Are you kidding me? I was 4 years in. So no, it wasn't a thing a lot of people knew about until much more recently. So it still doesn't show up a whole lot. But I think it'll start becoming more and more popular as time goes on. I learned pitch accent in Japan when I moved there. Nice. Genki doesn't work on pitch at all. I didn't know it was so important. Pretty much nothing except the brand new Tobita books have anything about pitch, and they don't even mention it. They just have the markings. Because it's, like I said, it's a very new thing in the community. I mean, not a new thing in the language, a new thing that people are actually paying attention to now.
そうそう、なんかコンテクストと雰囲気でピッチアクセントはなんとかできるんですね。
So through context, and the reason this probably happened is because, yeah, through context
と雰囲気
and yeah, your attitude, it's almost a non-issue, like 99% of the time. There's, for example, it's a silly example, forgive me, but if you're at dinner and you ask someone to pass you the chopsticks, if you use the pitch accent for bridge, no one is going to be confused and think that you want them to pass you a bridge. It's never going to happen. Never once. And 99.8% of the time, that's what's going to happen. Like, you might say the pitch a little bit wrong, but it's going to be obvious that, you know, you're at the doctor and your foot hurts, not some other thing, right? And there's lots of words. There's some words that there's like 50 synonyms and 48 of them have exactly the same pitch accent, and then the other two have the same pitch accent as each other. So it's not as critical as some people make it seem to be now. And I think that's why probably when people were writing textbooks for the first time about Japanese 30 years ago, nobody mentioned it. It's probably good to know about, and it'll help you sound more natural. But yeah, I still don't think it's as critical as a lot of, and even a lot of the pitch accent teachers out there nowadays, you'll find them mentioning, it's really not that important, but they say.
はい。ねえねえ、
Yeah,
ここ
shadowing
に
definitely
さ
helps.
あ、
はい。
ごめん。
ここに
ここにさ、漢字の諸注意ありますかって書いてあるんですけど。
漢字の何？
諸注意？なんか注意することありますかって書いてあるんですけど。
うん。
私か。
I'm not sure I understand the question. There's a million things you could be careful about.
まあそうか。あれ今日のやつについてじゃないってこと？
Today's tips pointers. I don't think it's talking about today. I mean, there's to give you the short answer, I just did a video, actually 3 videos on exactly that thing. And the first one is 18 minutes, the second one is about 8 minutes, and the third one is 6 minutes. So that's a total of about 30 something minutes of tips for learning kanji. So I could rehash them all right now, but I'm probably not gonna. Instead, we're gonna get ready to jump into breaking down the actual video, since that's what probably a lot of you are here for. I'm so happy to hear that the videos have been helpful, Jonathan. Thank you. I like to eat my rice with bridges. I like to burn bridges when I eat my rice. Yeah.
みんな結構ワイルドですね。
そう。
おばさんとおばあさんは多分違うものです。
So that's a different issue. Oba-san and oba-san has nothing to do with pitch accent. It's extending the ba. So oba-san and oba-san, right? The pitch accent might be a little different too, but there's no extra ah. Oba-san is ba, ah. And oba-san is oba-san. Oba-san, oba-san. So that's what the difference is there. It's not the pitch accent.
はい。あと、市営と私の市営は確かに難しい。それはね、私とか一律とか言ってなんか日本人も変えます。
Jesus, even the Japanese people change those up. All right. So, are we ready? Yes, extended vowels and small tsus mix people up a little bit. And those are the 2 things that you could work on that will make your Japanese sound even more understandable than pitch accent at first. If you mess up your extensions and shortenings, you'll be more likely to be misunderstood than if you have your pitch accent a little messed up. Like with oba-san and oba-san. If you say, well, yeah, if you're trying to say my aunt or an older woman, but you accidentally say grandma, yeah, it could cause a little bit of confusion.
わかんないときは名前で呼ぼう。
Yeah, if you're not sure, just call their name. Yeah. Although it's kind of rude, at least in American culture, to call your grandparents by name.
まあそうだね。
But it is what it is.
そうだけど、まあ大丈夫。なんか3、〇3。
All right, guys. Well, it is time, I believe, to get into the breakdown of the video today. So we are going to go through all 12 minutes and 12 seconds of this video and slowly break it down together. Yuki and I have to get the earplugs in so that we're not blowing your ears out with feedback.
どっちですか？
Right side.
今日は私その英語じゃなかった漢字のセクションは、これどうやって
前回と同じだよ。
ちょっと待ってね。
Suddenly your ears have shrunk since the last live stream.
はい、できました。
Okay, it's in.
そう、今日漢字のセクションはその書くんだよね、一緒に。
Yep, so she's going to be writing the kanji live here on this little whiteboard. Along with you guys, she might write some like stylish little things, or we'll see what happens.
Stylish?
Yeah, she's going to make it all fancy, right?
わかった、ファンシー？頑張るわ。
Just said son, and it's polite. Great tips, says Jacob. Yes, stuff like o and it. Oh, and you catch me out. Can never tell if I'm pronouncing it right. Don't have a JP keyboard installed. Ah, okay. So the extending the vowels, right? All right. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
Welcome everybody to the first mainline lesson of many in the ToKini Andy Introduction to Japanese Kanji course. If you know nothing about kanji yet, you might want to check out the first 3 introduction videos in this
this is no longer the thumbnail for that one, but it
series.
is.
But today, we're going to cover
well, it is everybody's problem because, for example, if someone looks at this and says, "Where's video number 2?" They won't be able to find this video because this thumbnail is no longer exists. I changed the thumbnail. It's video number 2.
Videos in this series. But today, we're going to cover the meaning, building blocks, writing, historical evolution, and a story to memorize each of the following kanji. And stick around to the end of the lesson where we'll be doing a quick quiz to help everything stick. We'll be learning these things for 118 kanji before jumping into how to read the kanji. We'll do it this way so that we have more kanji to work with and thus can learn a wider variety of words and readings for each kanji. So let's get right into it. This
All right, before we start on number 1, I always mix up the kunyomi and the onyomi. Any tips? Forget about them. Don't bother. Don't think about them at all. Just learn words.
Kanji almost everyone learns.
It's the first kanji everyone learns. Why? Let's go ahead and see Yuki write it so that you can get an idea of why this would be the first kanji you learn. Wow. You ready? Here we go. Okay, it's going to be tough.
2回3回
Maybe 2 times. We should probably do this one. All right, guys, ready? Here comes 1. 1.
8
Whew. Okay, that was tough. Let's draw it a little bit bigger this time.
そうだね。
Andy's face slowly getting red from watching himself.
このじゃあ2回目
Okay, here we go. Number 2. She's going to start down lower. Look how she goes up in the air a little bit. See how this red over on the actual video? It's above that little dotted line. Yeah, you start here and you sort of curve up just a little bit, and then at the end it looks like it curves back down just a little bit.
そうこんな感じにペンで書くと
Yeah, something like that.
ここがねここ
So we
ペ
start
ン
here.
ね
Yeah.
このペンの先
That's the tip of the pen. Okay, I see. So you start there. When we get to the writing, it'll be a little bit more obvious. All right, let's jump over to here. Thank you, Yuki.
Because it's easy.
It's easy.
Almost too easy. It literally
this
just
one
looks
looks
like
like
a 1 on its side, which is exactly what it means.
Do you dip down at the end?
1.
Yes.
The official radical for 1 is itself. 1.
1.
If you don't remember what radicals are, you can learn about them in this video and come back here after that. Anyway, the only part it contains is itself. 1. Easy so far, right?
Let's pull this out a little bit.
Well, the next part is 2. As with most kanji, we start with the west to east rule covered in the rules for writing video, and write left to right, stopping short at
did you
the
see that?
end. Don't rules for writing video.
So it goes down here, and the reason that is if we go back a little bit further, you'll see that Yuki is
Easy
actually
so far, right?
pressing down.
The next part is 2. As with most kanji,
She presses down onto the paper.
we start with the west to east
pulls
rule
it
covered in
over.
the rules for writing video, and write
And then sort
left
of
to
presses
right,
it down and leaves a little bump on the end.
そうそう
But when you're writing with
stopping
pen, of
short
course,
at
that
the
doesn't
end.
happen.
Don't whoosh the tail up or
So-
down or anything. It's just a nice straight
気持
line.
ちね気持ちや
You
るの
feel
While
like you do
many
that, but you
kanji
don't.
have a very interesting
Deceptively hard to draw that nearly straight line. Yes, except
大変なの
Yeah.
しかもてかその特に縦やばいね縦縦棒は
Oh,
すっごい
we'll
難
get
しい
to
の
that.
よ
The video I just edited today, lesson 3. I just put that up on the website for those of you who are on there. The straight line from the top to bottom. You do it sort of the same way with the little bump on the top. That's a hard one to write, yeah? So it's deceptively difficult to write in a beautiful way. Yes. But it's just a straight line if you're just starting out, so don't worry about it too much.
historical evolution, and this is the point in each lesson where I'd cover it. One has been pretty much the same for...
Yes, someone says we saw Andy try to draw one, so we know how difficult it is. To be fair, when I'm drawing it, you can see me down in the corner there. I'm reaching way over here, right? So does that count? So I start here. Oh wow, wow, that was rough. Let's try that again.
このさ、
Well, that's
ちっちゃすぎだろ。
that's not happening. On we go. It's way too far away from me.
なんかまたマ
for
スターピー
thousands
ス
of
が出
years.
来上が
Though
って
there are
しまう
some
な
variants of this kanji, which we'll learn about some other day. In this historical
agree.
evolution section of the lesson,
I agree.
I'll usually
Build it up.
only go into detail on the historical evolution if I think it'll aid in the memorization of that particular kanji. Which brings us to...
I should add that I'll also go over the historical evolution if I think it's really fun. Like if I think it's if I think it's interesting. Not necessarily if it's just helpful. Some of them I find really cool. Like the one for 4 is not necessarily helpful in getting you to memorize it, but the portal in the sky thing, I find that really fun. So, I wish my native tongue was Oracle Bone script. Right? Right? It's cool.
Brings us to my favorite part of the
Magical.
lesson, the story. Stories are a wonderful way to memorize kanji and vocabulary. For this series, I've created little stories for every single kanji we'll be covering. Each story utilizes each part of the kanji as well as its meaning so that you can easily memorize it. I recommend adding these kanji with their meanings to a flashcard deck and reviewing those cards daily. Ideally with a spaced repetition system like Anki or something like that. These stories will help dramatically with remembering the kanji the first few times, after which you'll eventually stop needing them. The story, that is. Not the kanji. You're gonna need those. You can...
Someone asked me this question on the website the other day. They said I've gotten to the point where I'm forgetting all of the stories, but I'm not having difficulty with the kanji. Like I'm remembering the kanji, but I forget the stories. Is that a problem? Of course not. Of course not. You're gonna forget the stories. It's not actually important to remember the stories. The stories are only really to help you remember it the first few times. And then the more you see it, the less you forget it, and the easier they get.
You can also create your own stories, which may help some of you remember the kanji even easier. But anyway, let's get into our story. For the kanji 1, we're going to be using the image of a worm. But not just...
Do you like my worm? My professional looking worm here? It's beautiful, right? I spent a long time on this guy. Thank you so much, David. I applied to a Japanese language school recently. Y'all are helping to get me through Genki 1 before the JLPT N5 in December. Thanks for everything. That's awesome. Good luck on the JLPT. And I hope that you get into the Japanese language school as well. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Because you donated, that means Yuki is about to start working on your name kanji. So thank you so much for that, and I hope you enjoy whatever she makes for you. That worm is fire, says Awasobi. Aosabi, not Awasobi. I don't know why I thought it was Awasobi. いい感じはいい感じ。ありがとうございます。そうだよね。確かに。That worm is fire. Watch it morph into the professional version.
Any worm. A fluorescent worm.
How about this one?
Hanging out on...
A fluorescent worm. Interestingly, when I learned kanji the first time, this is not the story I used, but I like this guy.
The ground. Officially, the story is one fluorescent worm lying on the ground.
Hi, I have a question for you guys. Since this is finally the first lesson coming out officially, about 100 or so people already watched it on the website, and nobody's mentioned any issues. But does anyone have any issues with this font? I really like the sort of stylistic style of it. Good English, Andy. I really like this font, and I like how it matches the little frame around it. But is it difficult for any of you to read? If it is, I'm willing to change it, but not for the next couple videos because I've already finished filming. I've already finished editing videos 1, 2, and 3, and they're up on the website. But let me know if you have any issues with it, and I'll think about changing it. I'm with RTK method. Got through the whole book a few weeks ago. Funny enough, I just started Genki 1. I even forgot the hiragana and katakana characters. Well, you'll get them back in no time if you've gotten through RTK. Worm reminds me of Sesame Street worms. Oh yeah, kind of. That's funny. I think my chat is slow or my internet is going wrong. Nah, people aren't talking that much right now, so it's okay. That worm looks like Attack on Titan's hallucigenia. I don't remember that. I've read up to book 28 of Attack on Titan. Or is Attack on Tiran a different book?
Attack on Tiran?
それある？ないよね。ないよね。
わからないです。そんなのありましたっ
The
け?
capital T looks like a te, which is kind of funny. That's true. The capital T does look like a te. Oh, I kind of like it more now. I just think the M's are kind of difficult to read. But anyway.
確かにね。
Oh yeah, night fishing worms do kind
From
of glow.
now on.
The all caps ones are a bit harder, but not enough for me to care. Right on. So one other thing I should mention here is that the all cap words are I'm usually using all caps for the parts of a kanji. So for each part in the story, I capitalize each part. So those are like the most important words in the story.
Every time the kanji 1 is used in another kanji, we'll use this fluorescent worm as part of the story and image for that kanji. So now you know your first kanji. How does it feel? Are you ready for more? This is how the lesson for each and every kanji will flow. So let me know how you feel about it down in the comments. And get subscribed if you're not already, because we're going to be covering a lot more. For the coming kanji, I will not be explaining each section like I just did, so things will start going a bit faster. Ready?
Definitely not for the next two videos, because those are already filmed or edited and released, but I'll definitely consider it for later ones. One down, thousands to go. Probably about 1,000 total. And then we'll probably switch to just learning words for everything. I'm not going to mess with meanings after about N3 Kanken level 7 or 6. We'll then just go directly into learning words.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
This is the second kanji most people learn. It's another easy one to remember, and as you likely already guessed, it means 2. The official radical for 2 is itself 2. But as I'm sure you noticed, it's basically 2 ones put together. So
except that they're a little bit different lengths.
So I like to think of this one as being made up of 2 ones. There are appropriately 2 strokes for 2.
David, apologies. Yuki's still trying to decide on which kanji to use for your name, but we've already gotten to the writing section, so she's going to do that first, and then she'll get back to your name. We'll
try to go slowly northwest, go west to east, move down to the next stroke, write it.
Notice how with the calligraphy, like on the chart, you can see that the bottom one is longer. It's obviously longer, but the calligraphy, like, it's a lot longer.
West to east, and end in the southeast. Just like the rule number 1 of writing I'm always talking about. One thing to note here is that the bottom line is always longer than the top line for the number 2. The story for 2 is...
While we look at this beautiful worm, it's time to have Yuki write our 2 for us live.
2だもんね。
2です。
これ4つになっちゃうもんね。危ないもんね。これ縦に書くね。これ。
Alright, here we go. 1.
これが1回目。
2. So notice how, unlike these 2 worms which I drew, if you look over here, unlike these 2 straight worms, unlike these guys, you notice how they go up a little bit, just like the number 1. So Yuki also drew it up a little bit. Yeah, you can still see it. Right, so they both sort of curve up a little bit. Yuki says that the one on the right, the orange one, is a little bit better looking. I agree. So. Alright, so Yuki's going to get back to working on David's name. He says no worries. I'm going to answer Joshua's question. Hey Andy, if I complete the Anki deck before all the lessons come out on the site, would you recommend waiting for the end for kanji lessons, or should I just get started learning them on my own? You don't need to wait. One thing we're going to do, because I think a few people, possibly quite a few people, will finish the first Anki deck on the website before we finish the second level of the Anki deck. The Anki deck for N4 Kanken Level 9 is going to come out way before we finish releasing the videos. Yuki's already pretty much done with the list. So what we're going to do is, because it'll take us some time to get all the voice recordings and stuff, is when we finish the list entirely and we have all the sentences and stuff, we're gonna release that, just the list, for all of you guys who are finished, and in case you want to make it into a deck. So we'll make like it won't have the audio, it won't have the drawings and everything, it's just going to be the list. So if some of you want to get a head start, we'll set it up so that you can do that. We'll try and get that done by the end of this year. I'm hoping to get the actual Anki deck out by January-ish. I'm hoping. Maybe a little before, but hopefully by January. It's a lot of work, obviously. We got to get all the pictures, we got to do all the audio recordings, both of guys and like both Yuki and another guy. And so that'll be a while, but we will get the data out for those of you who want. Senyoru Serena, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much. Konnichiwa, Andy-san to Yuki-chan. 今週、ユキは私の名前は書きませんだって。
書きません。
彼女の名前を書いてください。はい。Yuki's name? 彼女の名前はイザベルだって。イザベルです。ありがとうございます。はい。今週、セニョル・セレナ sent Isabel's name. イザベル。
わかりました。
And Bravo, oh, your name is hidden by the stamp you sent. Thank you so much. Braba, I can't see it because the whatchamacallit, what do you call, oh, can I see it over here? Brubble Baggins. Oh, love the name. Thank you so much, Brubble Baggins. Konbanwa, tuning in from sunny Sydney while I work from home today. I've seen your fluorescent worm in some of your old videos, and I've always wanted to ask, why specifically a fluorescent worm? Why was it a fluorescent worm? That's a good question. At the time, I specifically wanted it to be like glowing. Perhaps glowing would have even been a better word than fluorescent. Fluorescent and glowing is what the picture ended up showing up like. I was thinking of later kanji when I chose that, and how it would make more interesting stories if they were glowing or fluorescent. So for example, when we get to the number 10, it's part of a staff, like the worm itself becomes part of a staff, and I thought a glowing staff would be way cooler than just a worm wrapped around a staff. That would be kind of gross, right? So I was thinking of future stories and making them more interesting when I made it glowing and fluorescent. All right, Yuki has finished David's name. Thank you so much. We have Davido. Oh, this is a pretty cool one.
デイビッド。
はい、お願いします。デイビッド。
デイがこの丁寧のネイという字なんですけど。
This is the politeness day. はい。
で、優しいとかね。
It also means kind.
で、この日はbe つまで含みたいと思っています。
Okay, so be and the small tsu is also going to be included in this.
太陽のようで。
And this is the kanji for sun.
レイ、sunshine.
Sun rays, yeah. Sunshine or rays.
はい。とこのとっていう字はちょっと簡単な字じゃないんです。簡単なっていうかコモンな字じゃないんですけど、森という意味があります。
Right. This is not a common character, but it means forest. It's an uncommon way to write forest. So that's Davido. Thank you.
ありがとうございます。
はい。Next, Yuki is going to be working on
イザベラね。
Senor Serena's girlfriend,
はい。
Isabel.
イザベルね。イザベル。
はい。はい。お願いします。
わかりました。
And then we'll work on Bravo Baggins.
はい。
All right.
なんかその人さ。
Baggins. Do you know where a Baggins lives? I'm not sure. Also, my name is Bruno. Okay, so for Baggins, we're going to go with Bruno-san.
はい、わかりました。
Any recommendations for notebooks that are lined for learning kanji? I don't have specific recommendations, but off the top of my head, but I added some links. They are affiliate links, I should mention, but they're in the first video in this series. So the one that has like easy in green on the thumbnail. I don't have the links on me at the moment. Maybe someone can grab them and pop them in chat. But I added the links in the description of that video to a few that were very highly reviewed. Unfortunately, we have generally different ones over here in America than we do in Japan, but I found some ones that at least had good reviews. Hobbit Gang represent. Woo woo! I know it's not kanji, but I was wondering if you had any tips for writing some of the hiragana, particularly things like e and so. And how bad could be so and still be understood? So, yeah, just practice really. E and so, they don't need to be perfect, obviously, but so I don't think, like if you just stop and then go back and then curve around, the full stop, it usually doesn't look too bad. But I don't have too many tips beyond just practicing with like a lined whatchamacallit, with like a diagram, like on top of the diagram. That's the best thing I would do. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. Andy, I love your Genki lessons. They are super, super useful. I'm happy to hear that, so on. Thank you. It's almost Uncle Bilbo's birthday. Oh my goodness. Is he like 1,111 now? I hope so. Hope he's still alive. All right, guys, let's jump back into the video while Yuki works on Isaberu's name. We're going to go over here. Let's see where she's at. All right, she's still working over there. On we go.
Line is always longer than the top line for the number 2. The story for 2 is simply 2 fluorescent worms on the...
And here's the much better looking ones that someone said reminded them of the Sesame Street worms, which I totally cannot unsee now. Although I don't know if those were radioactive.
The ground, but the new one is smaller for some reason. It's a good idea to pause the video at this point for each kanji and take a moment to really visualize this image in your mind, or to create...
You like that intonation? In your mind. That was not intentional. But I wasn't going to re-record the whole video for just that. Maybe I should have. But anyway, so yeah, it's important to really stop, and I'm going to mention this quickly. So when I was learning kanji, I got to a point, I was around probably, I don't know, 1500-ish. And I was noticing that I was starting to forget a lot of my reviews. And I realized that I got so used to making stories that I wasn't really taking the time to visualize them, which meant that I was immediately forgetting them. So I started really taking the time, even though it was annoying and I just really wanted to get to the end, of stopping for 15-20 seconds and just actually trying to imagine it in my mind and connect it with the pieces. So it is important to, take your time. Obviously this kanji you're going to be fine with this one, but especially the later ones as they get more and more complicated, like taking your time to really get that story worked out in your mind can be helpful. Of course, now I wouldn't do it that way. When I get to like 1,000 or so doing it this way, I would just do words. But that's me. I probably wouldn't even necessarily... No, I would learn to write the words, but you don't have to at that point.
To create your own similar story, make sure to keep the stories relatively simple so that you can reuse the parts in other kanji.
My point with chopsticks and bridge was that it doesn't matter at all. But we'll have Yuki say chopsticks.
Hashi.
Hashi. So it's hashi. And bridge.
Hashi.
Hashi. So there's those. But it's not important because the context will always make it obvious which is which.
But they might show up. Next we have another simple kanji. This one just...
Aha! Pattern!
Has an extra line throw in to give us 3. The official radical for 3 is 1.
But okay, the radical here is... you're still fine. The official radical for 3 is 1. Okay.
In reality, it's made up of a 1 and 2.
When I say in reality, I don't know why I said in reality. It could be thought of as a 1 and a 2, and it makes more sense to me that way because we've got a 1 up top, and then this looks like a separate little 2 below it, to me. I think that makes it the lengths easier to think about because the 1 on top is a little bit longer than the 1 in the middle, and then the 1 on the bottom is much longer than both, actually.
Combined. There are, of course, 3 strokes in 3, and it follows rule number 1 to a T.
So there we can see this is a little bit smaller than the 1 on top. So we think of this as 1 and then down here is 2.
Keep in mind here that the new one is on top. So we have 1 and then we have 2 below it. So the middle line is always...
That's a good way to think of it. And meets the fish.
Shorter than the top and bottom.
All right, there's Yuki's pen version. Look how that kind of comes back.
For our
getting ready
story,
for
we
the next stroke. All right, there's my super flat, straight, fluorescent worms.
はい。
But before we do that,じゃじゃーん! We have Isabelu. This
はい
is
お待たせしました
Isabelu-san's name. Yuki
はい
has finished. There's 3 kanji in it, and we'll have her explain them to
は
you.
いこのいざという字は、砂浜とか海岸っていう意味
So
があります。
Iza is a way you could read the kanji for beach or for basically for a beach.
はい。でこのべの、漢字はそのあたりとか、その砂場なんだっけ、岸辺と
浜辺
か、そうそう浜辺のべです。
So this is the be from hamabe, so the be from beach, but it means the kanji itself means in that vicinity. So in the vicinity of the beach.
の、このルっていう字は、その前も出てきたジューリー、宝石の一つの種類で、青色なんだって。
Okay, this is a type of blue gemstone. That's what this final do kanji is for. So we've got in the vicinity of the beach and a blue gem. So you could visualize like a blue gem sitting in the sand at the side of a beach at the ocean or on a lake or something like that. Yeah.
という感じになりました。
Hi, so that's Isabelu's name. Thank you so much.
ありがとう
And
ござい
thank you
ます。
so much again for the donation, Senor Serena Carl. I think it was Carl.
Hi.
Yeah. All right, so then next is Brubbo Baggins, which is actually
はい
Bruno.
ブルーノね。
Bruno さん
だけ
ね。
どちょっとブルーノさんにお待ちい
Yes,
ただいて、
we're gonna
す
have
みません、
Bruno
ブル
san
ーノ
wait
さ
for a
ん。
minute, and we're gonna work on
はい、
the
3
number
に
3.
3をちょっと先に片付けますんで。
はい、just gonna. Right, let's go ahead and see
少々お待ちくだ
how
さい。
Yuki would write that.
はい。
Why was hers better than mine? Girls' kanji names are always a little bit, I don't know, prettier.
はい。
Hi, so there's 3. We can see we got that top line a little bit longer than the middle one, and the bottom line much, much longer.
はい。
No worries, Nick.
はい。
All right. They look almost identical, although the one on the right looks a little bit flatter. But that
そう
works
だ
for me.
ね。
Hi.
ちょっとみと間違えちゃうね。これみんなみってつけてくれてる
Oh,
んで
this
す
is
よ
a good point. Someone also mentioned this in chat before. You can see the one on the bottom there is mi. So what's the difference? Well, the lines go down instead of
So.
slightly up. So mi goes a little bit down.
であとはここが結構同じ
Oh, they're all about the same length. Yes, that's another important difference.
ほぼね。
They do look almost the same. So it can be a little bit confusing, especially at first. All right, on we
ありがとう
go.
ございます。じゃあブルーノさんね。
We lay our
Bruno-san.
third
Hi.
fluorescent worm
お待たせしてい
above
ます。
the other two. And
Someone says, I hope everyone here today feels like a fluorescent worm. Yes. Thank you to all the fluorescent worms today. You're all amazing. Fancy Winnie the
すごい。
Pooh.
we
こ
have
の
3.
ワームパーティーが始まってるね。これ
This next
Oh, did you see
kanji
that?
have 3.
This guy moves around a little bit. Boom. He just
This
moved.
next kanji
For some reason, my first edit, no matter what I did, I could not get that number 3 to stop moving when I rendered this video. I gave up in the end.
probably seems out of place here, considering we're covering numbers. But this kanji is also a radical or part that we need for the number 4.
Maybe
So
then.
before we can learn 4, we have to learn this. In this course, we'll always learn the kanji and parts necessary for other kanji first. Anyway, this kanji
Every
means
number.
mouth.
Every number is just going to be variations of worms. There's going to be so many fluorescent worms in this series, guys. You're going to be sick of them. Fluorescent worm merch, kanji worm merch might be in the works, Dan. That might have to happen.
The official radical
because.
for mouth is itself again. Mouth. And it's its only part. Mouth.
Now, if you wanted to, you could say that this is a straight standing line, which we'll learn about in lesson 3. And you could call this a 1. But then what do you make this? Are we going to learn this as a separate part? It's kind of just silly. So some methods would do that. Some methods would say, hey, it's a staff, and it's a 1, and it's a weird backwards L. I'm not going to go that far in because I don't think it's helpful. I only break these things down to the point where I think it would be helpful. Mouth is not difficult. it just looks like an open mouth. So the fact, since it is it's a radical itself, let's just learn it that way.
There are 3 strokes in mouth. While you would probably expect either 2 or 4, it's important to write mouth with these 3 strokes because it gives it a distinct look. Starting in the northeast, mouth breaks the west to east first rule and goes north to south first.
Right, so normally you'd think, I don't know, from the left to the right first, but we do, this standing line first.
We then draw west to east and north to south in a single stroke, and finally close out the bottom of our box west to east, ending in the southeast corner. I find
All right, before Yuki finishes Bruno's name, we're going to have her go ahead. She got the first kanji so far. But anyway, first she's going to go ahead and draw mouth for us. Now there's something interesting you're going to notice when she draws this. Well, we'll see if it shows up on whiteboard. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, see that right there? Okay, so this is super interesting to me. So, I never noticed this until I watched her write a couple, and then you can actually see it in the diagram if you look closely, but the first line sort of curves in a little bit. And then this side, the weird backwards L, comes in a little bit. So the top line and the bottom line are actually slightly different lengths. And I never noticed that, but every single time I've watched this written in calligraphy now, and every single time I've seen it as a part of another kanji, it's always written like that. So I thought that was interesting.
これがこうで、これがこうですね。あ、ちょっと曲がっちゃった。
It bent. Oh well.
曲がっちゃった。
Right on, right on.
ちょっとなんかここの長さが変わっちゃったね。ここの長さが。
そうだね。So they're a little bit different in the line.
まあでもいいでしょう。
One other thing to mention is that sometimes in different fonts, so this is Andy's hand now, so I'm reaching way over here. You might sometimes see it show up like this in fonts, right? So with the 2 lines sticking below. In calligraphy, generally, they're not going to write it that way, but you may see it. Oh, wait a second, guys. That was not intentional, I swear. Okay. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Yuki's gonna get back to working on Bruno's name. It's just no big deal over there. I'm gonna answer a quick question while Yuki's working on Bruno's name. Hi, ToKini Andy. I was wondering, I am a half Japanese person that grew up in America. I can speak a conversation at a conversational level, albeit a small vocabulary. Do you think reading from you would be easy to learn? If you've never learned kanji before, it's not going to be much easier than it is for any of us, unfortunately. Now, since you can speak quite well, it's obviously going to be a little bit easier for you to pick up, especially if you just start picking up from reading in general, because you might have a better idea of what's supposed to come next. But you said you have sort of a limited vocabulary, so it's still not going to be easy, unfortunately. I don't think Japanese as a language is super difficult compared to some other languages, but the reading and the writing definitely makes it one of the harder languages, and that's the main thing. I don't think the grammar, the vocabulary, any of that, I don't think it's super hard. But writing is definitely a barrier for a lot of people. 2 fluorescent worms in the mouth. That will show up eventually. I promise you. I like the ordering here. The first kanji I learned were day, moon, tree, and mountain. And nothing about radicals or parts. Fortunately, those ones look quite okay, although I imagine moon might have been a little weird for you to write the first time, but we'll get there. New mnemonic character? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, I gotta get that up on the screen first.
In the historical evolution of mouth interesting because you'll notice that while in modern Japanese, lines extend out below the kanji due to the way we write it, the ancient characters had lines extending out above. To me, the older versions look more like a smiley face. Maybe they were happier back then?
But tis.
To remember this kanji...
Alright, what do you guys think? Is that going to help you remember mouth if you didn't already? I feel like you probably remembered it already, but he's pretty cool.
We'll use a silly little character I created called...
Now for some reason his mouth is orange. I like this guy.
Mouth. The official
His
story?
name's Mouth. Creative,
this is
right?
a cute character with a big square mouth, tiny legs and arms. You don't
Yeah. Oh, this is important.
necessarily need a story for kanji like this because it looks like a mouth on its own. But I created one anyway because a character like this makes it easier and more fun to create stories for other kanji that use mouth.
So that's actually kind of my answer for why I chose fluorescent worms instead of just regular worms. It makes it easier to make future stories and a little bit more fun. So that's why I think it's very helpful. Kaylee says, kawaii. I agree 100%. I love this guy. But someone else said that this is what the wife looks like before she's had her coffee. And that sort of made me lose it in the middle of there. It's the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man. Yes! Looks like me IRL. You're awesome, Fancy Winnie the Pooh. I kind of want to meet you now. My first kanji was Aku, thanks to Rurouni Kenshin. Wow, that is I like the kanji Aku. I think it's fun to write and I think it's cool looking, but definitely not an easy first one to learn. Not really a question, but thank you so much for your guys' content and help me ace all of my Japanese exams in university so far. That's awesome. Congratulations, Esteban Ortega. I'm glad we were able to help. Yuki now. That character looks kind of like our mouth character. Oh yeah, it does look like that Russian character, kind of, Awasobi. My first kanji was Chikara because of Kiss's Hotter Than Hell album. Oh, did they use that on the cover of the album? That's cool, let's look it up quick. I'll pop this up here so that nothing weird shows up. We'll get this over here. Kiss, what was it called? Hotter Than Hell. Hotter Than Hello, I typed. Awesome. Hotter Than Hello. All right, let's bring that up. I'll bring back up the desktop. Where is Chikara? Oh, there it is, right at the top. Okay. Let's see if we can, there it is, right there. Okay. Interesting. That's cool. Bring this back up.
If you like this little guy or like this video in general, please be sure to hit the like button. It really helps. I think.
Please hit the like button on this live stream too. It helps it get out there for those who are not watching it. They might want to hang out if there's a bunch of likes. Also, I think YouTube pushes live streams out to more people if there's more likes on it. So that always helps. You know what also helps? I don't know. I didn't have an ending to that joke. But Yuki is finished with Bruno-san's name. So let's have her go ahead and break that down for you if you're still here.
はい。すいません、遅くなっちゃって。
It's okay, okay. She said sorry for taking so long. It's fine, it wasn't that long.
ブルーの4文字になってます。ちょっと考えすぎちゃったかな。
ブルーノさん、your name is 4 kanji. It's the
ごめんね、
longest
ちょっ
name
と
today.
難しいかもしれない。
はい。
このブはまず舞うという字ですね。
Bu means to dance. It can also be a character that is used for like a stage where actors perform, things like that.
で、このルという字は流れるという意味がありますね。
Do is to flow.
で、うは羽という感じで、軽いとかそういう意味も含めています。
U here is feathers. It means feathers generally, and it can also mean to be light.
そう。で、こののっていう字がね、ちょっとね、いろいろ考えたんですけど。
それはあやのでも使うよね、よく。
あ、そうそう。はい、で、このの自体はその単体はあなたっていう意味があるんですけど、これがね。
So this character sometimes has the meaning of you, あなた。Not you, but like a different you. I've seen it quite often in the name Ayano and a few others as well.
とか、結構いろんな人のね漢字にね使われてるこののという字は。
It's quite common in names.
すごくね。でなんか一応その雰囲気では日本人が思ってる雰囲気ではこの和風のイメージがあるんだって。
Okay, so it has a very Japanese, like a classical Japanese sort of feeling to it. This character.
はい。
はい。
で一般的にはポゼッシブ。
but that's different. That's in English.
あれではないですね。
はい。
はい、という感じで。
All right.
ちょっとなんかパフォーマンシーな感じになってしまいました。
It seems very like performative almost. Yeah. Performative classic like.
ね、ちょっとブルーノさんがねダンスを踊ってることをお願いしたいね。
Maybe you can become a stage actor or something or a dancer. Yeah. All right. So that's your name, Bruno. Thank you so much.
すいません。お待たせしました。
I'm a new subscriber says Fancy Winnie the Pooh. I appreciate it. I like Winnie the Pooh. It's one of my favorite little cartoons when I was a kid. So thank you for subscribing to me, my childhood idol. All right, jumping over to desktop. Oh my god, this is hard. Will I ever master this kanji? This one? I don't know. You'll probably have a hard time mastering the ones that Yuki just popped up over here. But you know what? They're really not that bad if you take a look at it. So you can break every single one of these down into little parts. There's a part on top, there's a part over here, there's a part over here. And all those parts on their own are not that bad. This one, there's a part on the left, which is water. And there's a part up here, and then this part down here, which looks like a river, but with a little leg coming out. They're not too difficult when you get used to breaking them down into parts. So yes, you can totally learn these kanji. But on we go.
Hi.
This is our first character that is not itself a kanji. It's another piece that we need for the next kanji 4. It's an official radical that means person's legs.
Right, so this is not just a part. This is an actual one of the actual radicals, the 214 official radicals. This is one of them. Sometimes I will introduce non-official radicals just as parts that are super common but aren't officially recognized. I'm sometimes going to bring those in because I think certain complicated kanji will be much easier to memorize if you know those separate parts. But this one is an official radical.
Because it is a radical and not a kanji, there's no official radical for this. And person's legs is the only part. There are 2 strokes in person's legs, and you might remember from this video that we write
that thumbnail no longer exists. It looks different now. Just mentioning that.
Curved lines starting with the one that goes right to left. Of course, we can also just use the west to east rule for each part of this radical and start with the part on the left and then the part on the right.
Notice how it just goes straight up there when you're writing it. I like that. So let's go ahead and see what Yuki would write this like right now on a whiteboard. Dan's throwing the sexy legs into chat. Do I need to possess the Genki textbooks if I sign up for the course, or is the material presented online? Having the book will help for sure. There are certain things that you won't be able to complete on the site without it. There are many things you do not need the book for, but there are many things you do need the book for. So that's kind of up to you. All right, so there's the first one. We've got that curving out on the left. I'll give you a little secret for those of you who are here. You could break this down into 2 parts, which we'll learn in the next lesson, I believe. But we're not going to do that because, come on, it's obvious. They're people legs. By the way, the official Japanese name for this is hitoashi, person's legs. So that's the real name.
Hi.
So we curve that out to the left, sort of, and then a nice, just a loop. Looks kind of like a hook. Right on.
ちょっと右がちっちゃくなっちゃったかな。
The right is a little bit smaller than the left. Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. All right, on we go.
Keep in mind that the leg on the right curves up at the end.
Someone just mentioned no radical, the no radical in fishhook, but with just person's legs. Yes, it does look like the no radical, which we'll learn next time, and hook, but just person's legs is fine.
Like the pictograph of a toe sticking up in the air, or just a shoe if you see that better. That's
how did I find this picture? I don't even...
Pictograph of a toe sticking up
like, how did I find this? I don't even remember how I found this, but...
in the air, or
good job,
just
me.
a shoe if you see that
Past
better.
me.
That's what it looks like to me.
All right, before we jump into the historical evolution, Alyssa said, Andy, question, would you ever see human roof used by itself, or is it solely a part? Solely a part, because human roof is actually, like, let's have Yuki write human roof quickly so that those of you listening will understand what we're talking about. It's a roof part. It's a, what do you call it? I can't remember. A crown. A crown.
あ、こうじゃない？
そうそうそう、合ってる合ってる。
この金曜日の上のところだよね。
So what this really is it's person. Let's have Yuki draw person. But how it looks when it's drawn as a crown radical. So we draw person here. So this is the kanji for person. Now you can use, person itself is a radical. So when it's used as a crown radical, so on top of kanji, you draw it like the one on the left. Now I believe that the drawing on the left, the human roof, is categorized out by itself. but the official part of it is person. Okay, so we learn them separately because they're separated out. So this is another one. That's not what I was talking about. But this is what person looks like when it's drawn on the left. Now that is also categorized out as a separate part. But technically, they're all this, right?
So 意味はね。
It's just where they show up means they're drawn differently, and thus they're sort of we give them slightly different meanings. And I believe officially they also they have slightly different names. Like the one here, this is called ninben in Japanese, so it's person when on the left. And then this one, hitoyane, it's literally person roof. That's literally the Japanese name, is person roof. But the official, what it's built from is person. Okay, so these will never show up on their own. They will only show up as radicals or parts. So, sorry, that has nothing to do with this lesson, but it's a good question. So.
The historical evolution for this character looks kind of like the legs of a dancer with their arms in the air doing some kind of performance, which is why the story...
It totally looks like that, right?
Story for this radical will be two sexy person legs making a pose.
Yes,
which brings...
I tried to do the evolution. I had so many problems with this video the first time I made it. I could not get the evolution from my terrible version to this version. Let's see if I can pull up the terrible version of it for you guys. Hold on. We'll get it. Since I didn't get to show you what my terrible version looked like, I want to show you now. Lesson parts, lesson files, stories. Oh boy, are you ready? This is going to be exciting. This is Andy's masterpiece right here. What do you think? You like it? That is the masterpiece that I drew, and this over here is the masterpiece that Himea, our artist helper, was able to create for us. So
making a pose.
Had to bring that up.
Which brings us to the final kanji in this lesson.
We made it to the final kanji.
4.
The number 4.
Official radical for 4.
Oh my god, so hot. Says Enemitsupecia. Sexy, says Jeff. Don't you think so? Oh yeah, belongs in a museum. Agreed. Glad I'm not alone here. I want to practice writing, but I don't know how. I'll show you. Here you go. Right here.
Hi.
Oh, Yuki, go ahead. Yeah. Just get out a whiteboard or a piece of paper and try to write it. Oh, Yuki's writing 4 now. Oh, take a look, right? So look how the line on the left comes in a little bit, and this line here comes in a little bit.
もう4やろうとしちゃった。ミスっちゃった。
いいよ、いい
一
よ、いいよ。
足だよね、
いいよ。
本当はやらない。
一足終わったよ。Right. Then you bring in person's legs on the inside there, although we haven't gotten to this part yet.
ここはね、跳ねませんからみんな気をつけてね。
Right. We'll get to that in a minute. And then you close out the bottom. But wait, we're not actually doing that right now. I'm just showing you how you can practice writing. Just do it. You'll be good.
Mouth. It contains the parts mouth.
But yes, you can find good worksheets online that have like tracing practice if you'd like that. That can help as well.
And person's legs. You might remember from the rules to remember.
Right, so let's go back for a second. So the parts are mouth, right? The official radical is mouth for 4, for some reason. I mean, it makes as much sense as person's legs. Who knows why any of these are the parts? Somebody mentioned, I think in a comment, that it was chosen as an ateji, so just as for its reading. I read on the official Wiktionary for kanji that it was not really known the true reason why they chose this one. But I'm sure there's some places that say we know and some places that say we don't, so who knows. Anyway.
Parts, mouth, and person's legs. You might remember from the rules to remember how to write kanji lesson that when there are things written inside of our mouth kanji, the mouth or box must not...
Check that out. So let's go back a second. Watch how this comes back in a little bit.
Things written inside of our mouth kanji, the mouth or box must not be closed until everything inside is written. So we draw the first 2 strokes of mouth.
Interesting point here. Notice how in the official diagram here, it does not, the right side of person's legs does not connect to the box. But in calligraphy, it usually does.
And then draw the sexy person legs inside the mouth.
And actually in handwriting, it often does as well. We'll take a look here. It curves in, of course,
it's important to note
both
here
of the lines.
that they connect to the top line. Finally, we close.
So yeah, it's connecting here. This is not necessary. It doesn't have to connect. Up here, you want them to definitely connect to the top line. But this part doesn't have to connect, but you'll notice that it very frequently
our mouth. Interestingly,
of course,
four
we always
used to be written with four.
More compliments for your calligraphy, Yuki. There's so much power and beauty in your calligraphy, Yuki. Someone else mentioned that looked like part of the lamp from A Christmas Story. So happy that you said that, Nihon Do Not Pass Go. So, my original story for Sexy Legs was actually the lamp from A Christmas Story, the leg lamp. I was going to use that, and I was going to have the story for 4 being the mouth guys eating the leg lamps. I changed my mind. I can't remember exactly why, but I also do remember that I think RTK also uses the leg lamp. I think. Maybe that's why I changed my mind. Can't remember. Anyway, Yuki's going to go ahead and continue writing 4. So there's her first 4.
ありがとうね。
はい。Yuki said thank you, Alyssa.
はい。ちょっと私もそのなんかこの超頑張ってこのパーフェクトあれをレクタングルにしていきたいと思っています。
She's going to try a perfect font, like a rectangle. Of course, you don't have to you don't have to pull in, like it's okay.
どうすればいいんですか、次。
You don't have to pull the line in.
これ次
It's
何
this
が
person's legs でしょ？
そうだけどさ、どのぐらいこの真ん中にこうかな。
それコネクションしないでしょ？
そうだね。
違う？
ちょっと難しいな、このフォント。
Oh, she's trying to make it like font.
普通に書き
See you
ます
later,
ね。
Dan. Thanks for hanging out.
普通に書きます。
She's gonna just draw normally.
できなかった私にはフォントが。
So Yuki always likes to connect
そう。
to the line. Now I'm gonna draw with my leg.
ちょっと私。
Not my leg, my arm fully. You leave it like that. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna draw with my arm fully extended, so it's gonna be terrible. 1. This is how I usually write it. Simple. And then mine usually don't connect. It's not good. Usually I'd actually go a little bit further. Probably like that.
不安になってくるな。
That's what I usually draw it like, but we often see it the other way as well. One important thing is that the right side of hitoashi, so this part over, oh, not that, that's my face. This part over here, this does not go up like person's legs does. It goes straight when we're using the 4. But it's not a huge issue. Ooh, it's all quiet.
It's important to note here that they connect to the top line. Finally, we close our mouth. Interestingly, 4 used to be written with 4 lines, following the same pattern as 1, 2, and 3. But at various times in history, we can see that it was sometimes written as some legs coming out of a portal in the sky.
Okay, that's interesting. Definitely looks like legs coming out of a portal in the sky, right? Or something coming out of a portal in the sky. Look at that, like 3D. Like, what were they doing way back then?
確かにね、何かが起きてますよね。
It feels like there were aliens back, or some portals, something. I'm not sure. Very cool.
For some reason. Our story for 4 is 4 of our mouth characters from before, with 4 of sexy person legs in their mouths, for some reason. I mean, they're giant mouths. They're always hungry.
Kind of looks like a mushroom.
Which brings us to the Lesson 1 quiz.
All right, so one thing I forgot to do for each of these kanji is I was going to ask you guys if you've come up with your own stories for each of these kanji and if you'd like to share them in chat. And I'd love to read them out, and maybe some of your stories, like maybe some of these stories didn't help other viewers, but maybe your story would help other viewers. So I'd love to hear some of the stories that you've made up, or maybe you could just make one up on the fly and throw it in chat. We'll go ahead and give you guys a chance to share your own stories for each kanji during the quiz. So, you guys ready? Let's go ahead and do the quiz together.
In this section of the video, I'll show you a flashcard with the English meaning for each kanji.
Oh, wow. talk about good timing. Five-Toe Sloth Bear came up with a story for 4. They said, 4 of my friends got abducted into the mouth of the alien spaceship. Very good.
Pause the video when we show each card and try to remember how
kanji,
to write
right
that
on.
kanji. Then, write it on your hand with your finger or on a piece of paper. The best...
The golfer yelled 4 with a mouth so wide that a fly flew in his mouth, legs dangling out. All right. I think that 4 is a different meaning than the number 4, but that doesn't really matter if it helps you remember it. So good.
The best way to remember kanji that you just learned is to search your memory for the story that you used to memorize it. That might be the story that we taught you, or the one that you made based on the English meaning for that kanji. Our first card is 1.
All right. 1. Anyone get it?
1.
You've got 2 seconds. Here we go. So now generally what I do is I just write it on my hand here. Okay, you got it? Let's see if Yuki got it. Very good, she got it. All right. All right, so there's a story. We'll read it again one time. 1 fluorescent worm lying on the ground. Does anyone have any fun stories for 1 instead of a fluorescent worm? We'll go ahead and wait for you guys. Yuki, 何が難しい？
あれストーリー考えるの。
Thinking of stories ね。
だってさ、私一回もそんなのさ、この棒に対して何かイメージをさつけたことがない。
Well, of course not. She said she's never thought of an image for the number 1. Obviously.
The
number 1.
ですって言われて、はい。
The number 1. Right. The number 1 does not require a story. It's not necessary. But if you think of one thing that you're always going to use in all your future stories when 1 is a part of the kanji, coming up with some kind of image or idea or story can be helpful in my opinion. So that's what I did. It's a sideways 1, yeah. I mean, that's how I learned it too. Let's be honest. That's how everyone learned it the first few times. Coming up with stories is how I learned to memorize cards. At one point, I could remember a whole shuffled deck. That's a muscle you have to exercise though. Whew, that's pretty intense. I don't think I'd ever be able to do that. I have a hard time memorizing like 8 numbers for more than a few seconds. That's pretty awesome. But I have heard that stories help with that. A stick floating in a river. Nice. It's also useful to picture it as ground for kanji like yes, yes. Excuse me. We will be making that the ground in the future, but what I end up doing in the future stories is it's like a pole stuck into a fluorescent worm on the ground, things like that. So I make my way with it. But yes, it can definitely be helpful for that. The story of 1 is a guy planking. I like it. Back for a quick second. All right, come to Japan. Dan, welcome back. How's it going? Thank you for being here. Can make up a story. Needs to memorize literally. 4 was easier because it was the first one that didn't make sense the same way 1 to 3 did. Yeah, obviously it's easier to come up with stories for that. Honestly, the mouth one makes me think that someone didn't like a smooth talker and was mocking them in a kanji, lol. So I guess I think smooth talker. Makes sense to me. There you go, Millie.
みんなクリエイティブだよね、結構。
でしょ? Everyone's quite creative, yeah.
私先生にはいこれ1です。1って書いて。はい。
She said her teacher said, "Hi, this is 1. Hi, this is 2. Hi, this is 3." All right, good job, guys. On to the next one.
Next is 2.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, you got it? Did you write it on your hand? All right, Yuki's gonna try. Let's see if she's able to get it. We'll give her 3, 2, 1. Boom! All right, she got it. I hope everyone else got it as well. Any stories for 2? Better than just 2 fluorescent worms in the ground? Let's get them on screen.
今いけましたこれ。
All right, there's our story. Our story was 2 fluorescent worms in the ground, but the new one is smaller for some reason. The new one on top.
1音できたかも、これ1音。
お？どういうこと？ What's this? A new story?
そう、ニューストーリー。この1は眉毛。
The first one is an eyebrow. Okay.
2は目。ど
どういうこと？
う？
One, I see. I get it. Okay. It took me a minute. So 1 is eyebrows, and then 2 is the actual eye. I see. So that's Yuki's story. Nice.
でもさ、それを言葉では説明できない。
she can explain it with words though. For like us learning the alphabet. Yeah. Someone put their feet in the mouth to stop it from talking. Okay, we're back on 4 there. All right. Yeah, we probably won't come up with too many different stories for 2 and 3 than for 1. So 2 of my brain cells are working very hard to remember the kanji. All right. So these are 2 brain cells. Why are your brain cells long and flat? Is that what brain cells look like? I wonder. It could be, actually.
No,
that would explain lines. A twig joins its cousin stick as they float down the river together. A twig joins its cousin stick. I've never heard of a cousin stick. Interesting.
何？
A twin joins its cousin stick. Oh, I get it. A twig joins its cousin stick. So its cousin is another 2 sticks floating down the river. This one is its cousin. They float down the river together. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Yuki. Oh. I thought she erased something. I thought she was saying coming up with something.
3と4もいけそうな気がしたの。
Oh, she's got ideas for 3 and 4. Similar to a street, 3 is a road with 2 lanes. Ooh, I like it. Very cool.
そうだよね。本当だよね。なんかさ、みんな本当クリエイティブだよね。どうして私さ、ちっちゃかったのにさ、それ思えなかったのかな。
Nobody ever considered that you could use stories. Like, nobody taught us in school that you could use stories to memorize things. They're super useful. I use stories to memorize words, not just kanji. In fact, I use stories to memorize everything I have to memorize.
でもさ、このさ、英語のさ、このキャピタル B があるじゃないですか。これね。
Yeah.
これなんかのさ、なんかカートゥーンとかでさ、この蝶々になったり、この。
We did have stuff like that in school, though, I guess.
でしょ？この蝶々になったりさ、このサンドイッチになったりするやつあるじゃないですか。
Yes, we have things like that.
でもどうしてさ、自分のさ言葉には思わなかったんだろう。
So Japanese people will make these kind of things for kids to learn English, but they never thought of doing it for kanji. That's interesting.
不思議だよね。これは3です。
See you later, Dan. Thank you.
言われたら、はい、3です。
Right? Who knows?
Just a few more. Here's 3.
All right. There's 3. Let's see if Yuki can get it before we change the page. The sound effect already went off. Let's see. Yuki, 3.
3ね。私たち全然クリエイティブじゃないね。
It's almost like you're Japanese or something. All right, stories for 3, guys. We have already got 1 story for 3. Benami Sai Kam said 2 is similar to a street and 3 is a road with 2 lanes. Very good. I like that. I read that one before, but it's also for 3, so I wanted to bring that one up again. Mnemonics allow us to move knowledge from long and short-term memory to sensory memory. Yes, that makes sense. I've actually never researched it, but that makes total sense. Oh, Yuki's making it a street for you. Nice.
そういうことだよね。
Crowdsourcing stories. I love it. All right, on we go. We lay our 3rd fluorescent worm above the other 2, and now we have 3. A yummy sandwich, of which gets smaller the top. Oh, yes, it could be a sandwich, and especially with that green.
なるほど。
I don't want to know what's I don't have this up right now.
なるほどね。
The green line here. See, it's like a lettuce.
これでこのさレタスだけね、ここは。
そう。
でもさ、レタスちっちゃくしないといけないんだった。
Yes, lettuce has to be small. So it's got to be inside of the bun.
ちょっとちっちゃくしとくね。でもさ、ちょっとあれを入れたいね。パティ。
If she wants to put a burger patty, you could hide it behind the lettuce. You can hide the burger behind the lettuce. You can pretend like it's wrapped inside of it.
ここ？
I remembered sandwich. Oh, that's a good one, friends.
ここね、パティ。
ほら、サンドイッチ。
本当だ。
That's very good.
わあ、
I like it.
頭いいね。何それ。これサンドイッチか。
Oh, here's
これ
another. Here's another. 3 is the cat finally got made at the two brothers planking, so they scratch them. So there's two brothers planking now, and now the cat's scratching them. Okay.
確かに
Very
確か
good.
に。
The kanji.
何？
The kanji for sad vegan burger.
どういうこと？
Indeed.
さ、
さっきのバーガーはビーガンバーガーじゃん。
確かに確か
Sad
に
vegan burger.
ね。
No, I'm fasting for a blood test in the morning and now I'm hungry for kanji sandwiches. I promise you they're not delicious. Kanji sandwiches are terrible. It's literally just a piece of lettuce in front of in between a piece of green and pink bread. That can't be good.
なんかさ、ちなみにそのさ、サンドイッチというさ、その名前のさ、ね、アイディアはちょっと気をつけて守ってください。なんかマクドナルドさんとかに取られちゃうよ。このまま
Oh
じ
yeah,
ゃ。
be careful with that story. McDonald's might steal it from you.
そうそう、サンドイッ
A
チ。
small kid sleeping between mom and dad. Okay, that's cool too. I like that.
あー、それマジ日本人のセンスだよね。
Liz says kanji sandwich. They taste like ink and paper. This is the kanji for the number of losses that Takayasu currently has in this month's sumo basho. Oh no. I don't know who Takayasu is. Probably a sumo-san. Takayasu. 3回も負けてるらしい。
そう、今の秋場所でってこと？
らしいね。
そうなんだ。
今月ね。
あらららら。
Oh boy. No worries, Detective Conan. I agree, they're genius. All right, on we go to number 4.
はい。
Oh no, not 4.
And then there's
あ、
mouth.
あ、そっか、マウスね。
All right,
レックスじゃなくて。
let's see if you can remember mouth. Boom. What is she doing?
まだ。やべえ、ちょっとまだちょっと。
Boo boo.
あ、ごめん。
This one is
ちょっ
not
と
mouth.
あ、ちょっと間違えちゃった。
This is the small kid sleeping between mom and dad, I think.
違う。
From a Flying Tic Tac story. Hi, mouth. I turn off my phone so hot here that my phone is overheating. Good night, France. Have a
あ
good
らら
one.
らら。
Hi. She got mouth. Very
充
good.
電してください。また
Hi.
ね。
Sleep well, friends. Hi. What the story was, this is a cute character with a big square mouth, tiny legs, and arms. So this is more, like, I call it a story, but this is more like a visual image. And then we'll be using this piece, this little guy, in our future stories. So we haven't really gotten to an actual story yet. Just an image, but we'll get there. And Flying Tic Tac is cracking up at Yuki's. The three sleeping people instead of mouth. So let's see if we got any stories for this one. Eating the biggest square gum ever. Giant square gum. Oh yeah, that's what it looks like he's doing
確か
too.
に。
Yeah.
あ、ちょっと
With
こ
that
れ見て
orange.
見て、チューイングスタイルにしてみました。さっきのやつとちょっとコンバインして。
Yuki combined her one, so she had the one as eyebrows.
あと3もコンバインして
And
みた
then
よ。
2 were the eyes, then 3 is the mouth, and then she put it inside of a mouth. And she gets her own character that has 1, 2, 3 mouth.
だけどこれは漢字じゃなくなっちゃったけどね。
This is no longer a
そう
kanji,
気をつけてこれは。だけどいい感じチューイングしてみましたそのガム。
Ah, yeah. It's chewing gum with a number 3. I like it.
That is
The
disgusting.
face!
もう消すね。消す。
多分それじゃないと思うけど。
本当？
But I don't know. It's so good, says David Rees.
本当？
4 is everyone got tired, so they decided to watch the TV. Right on. 4 is everyone got tired, so they decided to watch. Ah, you mean this one, right? The mouth. Mouth. We actually haven't gotten to 4 yet. Does mouth in the context of a river mouth have a different kanji? Ah,
意味だったのかな。
river mouth. River mouth is, I can't remember how to say river. 川が終わるところはなんて言うんだっけ？
河口？
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 どうやって書く？
あ、それ。
これだ。
うん。
はい、okay. There we go. All right, so I'll bring that up for you in chat. Boom.
本当にそれ
This step is
川
actually
が終
kako.
わるそれで。
So mouth of a river. So no, it does not have a separate kanji. It actually uses mouth. And then this is one of the kanji you can use for river. Kako, mouth of a river, estuary.
合ってる
So no, it still, excuse me, still uses regular mouth.
River これか。
Kako ne.
はい。
It's the first stream of today. Yes. Can you actually write kako with the? Oh yeah, you can. Okay, you can read it that way. Although that is usually read as kawaguchi apparently, and this can also be read as kawaguchi. But kako is the jukugo. I think that's probably the more common reading. But kawaguchi can also be said or read.
なんかまあコモンラストネームだよね。
Oh, it's a common last name. Okay. Kawaguchi?
そう、川口は結構コモンじゃない？
Okay. Yeah, I guess I've heard that before. Kawaguchi-san. Yeah, that sounds like something I've heard quite a bit. A lunchbox. That's a good one. Okay. You
ああ。
gotta put the whole lunchbox in your
いい
mouth.
ですね。
Oh, Yuki's starting to draw over there.
ちょっと
Oh, not yet?
やめ
Okay.
て
Okay. We'll get rid of it.
ちょっとま
Is this
だ
the first stream, says Icy Watermelon? It is the fourth stream in the series. The fourth stream in the series, but it is the first lesson stream because this is the first actual lesson where we're actually getting into the kanji. All right, so those are some good stories. A peanut butter bread sandwich with a mouth.
おー
Okay, nice.
ちょっとピーナッツバターサンドイッチにするか。
あれ？
え？
A lunchbox を書こうとしてたんじゃなかった？
そう。ラン
She
チボ
was
ック
drawing
ス
a
ってさ
lunchbox.
どういうこと？お弁当箱だよね。
A lunchbox in America looks different from a
どういうこ
lunchbox.
とな？お弁当じゃないの？
Yes. But an American style lunchbox is more like this. Like a box. This is a bento here. At least when I was a kid, lunchboxes did not look like bentos. They were like a square,
分かった。
square
私た
box.
ちは違うものをね思い浮かべたけど、二つとも同じ形をしている。思ったのは違うものだったけど。
She thought of a different thing, but it's the same shape, so it's okay. All right.
違った。
Mouth reminds me of a mailbox opening. Oh yeah, it does kind of look like a mailbox opening. The mouth of the mailbox. Nice. Looks like a marshmallow. Okay, interesting. If you like to put those in your mouth, it could work. American lunchbox is a metal suitcase for food.
何それ？
Yes, yes.
メロスーツケース。
A metal suitcase for food. American style lunchbox. None of these look like the lunchboxes I had when I was a kid. I guess, yeah, this is a little bit closer, but like, how about a plastic 1990s lunchbox? There we go. That's what a lunchbox is to me. Right here.
何この楽しそうなもの。
Ninja Turtles lunchbox. Heck yeah. Who likes the Ninja Turtles? Let me know. I loved the Ninja Turtles. Are you kidding? I wanted to be Leonardo so bad when I grew up. He had the blue band and the swords. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Come on.
Hi.
I remember those lunchboxes too. Oh, Yuki has something to show us. Boop, boop. Oh, nice. Oh, we've lost a light.
消えちゃった。
We've lost a light.
や
Oh
ばい。
no.
私たち
Can I
また
plug it
ゾ
in?
ンビになるんだこれ
We're gonna be
で。
zombies now.
ちな
I
み
can
にこれ
probably
何
plug it
かわ
in.
かる？
You know what that is, guys?
ピーナッツバターです。
A peanut butter sandwich. All right. Let's unplug the camera because that's full battery. So we'll unplug the power from the camera and we'll plug that into this light, although the other one's going to die too. Now that's plugged in to our power bank.
Yay.
And now we have light again. All right. That's what you get for having, portable live stream station. The batteries die in the lights.
ね。
Anyway.
バッテリーがね、尽きないうちにやっ
Cowabunga
とかない
says
と。
build it up. Yes, yes, yes. I think I had a lunchbox like that at some point, but only when I was very young. After that, I had to survive on the school lunches. Yeah, by the time I got to high school, it was mostly paper bag lunches. I was a Donatello girl. Okay, a Donatello girl. My favorite was Raphael. All right, we got Ninja Turtles fans here. I love it. Ninja Turtles were the original radicals. Right on. Their sensei and his pizza. Or did sensei, their rat teacher, Right? Did he give them pizza or did they just like pizza? The Ninja Turtles' favorite food was pizza.
そうだったんだ。
Yes.
一回も見たことないよ。
I'm pretty sure I had a TMNT lunchbox as well. She's never seen it. I love how Yuki's adding cute details on everything.
ありがとうございます。
Indeed. Oh, that's just a whiteboard.
はい。もう OK。
All right. Love the TMNT
常に
Sega
何か
Genesis
書
game.
いてあると思ってるの？
I don't think I played any of the Ninja Turtles games. I just watched the cartoon a lot and had a bunch of the action figures. Yeah, Master Splinter. That's when I first heard the word sensei. Probably me too. That's probably why I ended up learning, that's probably the real reason I ended up learning Japanese. That and my dad always had me dancing to learning Japanese. I think I'm learning Japanese. I really think so. Do 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 when I was 2. Apparently. All right, on we go.
忍者タートルズって
We'll have to watch an episode one day.
Finally, we have 4.
4, 3,
日本で流行ってたん
1.
ですよ。
Let's see if you Ah! Don't look, guys. Don't look,
We
guys.
have 4.
All right, did everyone get this one? We'll see if Yuki got it.
と
Jijim.
今回はこっち側をつけてみなくしてみました。
Oh, this time she tried to keep the left side of person's legs,
ね。
not touching the side.
ね。
All right.
なんかさ、そのさ、日本人のラフスタイルやってもいい？
Hi, she's gonna do Japanese rough style. Yes,
結
absolutely.
構こうやって書いて4ってこれ
Really?
ね。
She said rough Japanese people sometimes write it like
これ。
this, like when they're writing really fast. Interesting. I would love for in our
こうやって
future streams, really, if you could write rough Japanese style so people can get an idea of what handwriting will look like. I think that'll be very helpful. Definitely do that.
これね、これ4って4です、これ。
So people, when they're writing really fast, or who people have bad handwriting, they'll often write it like this. So if you ever see this,
こっちは大丈夫だよ
That I've
ね。
seen.
ラフでもね。
yeah, I've seen that.
こっちがね、きっと
Wow.
これね、結構そのなんかさ、神社とかでもその説明があるさ、ボードがあるじゃないですか。そういうのもたまにこういうのこっちで書いてある。
You'll sometimes see it drawn like this on the boards, like at shrines. You'll see boards with explanations about the shrine. She said sometimes it'll be written like that one. Interesting, interesting. We've got the story. Everyone's given us our stories for 4. Let's go ahead and get the official story up. 4 of our mouth characters from before with 4 sets of sexy person legs in their mouths. Okay, let's see what other stories you guys got. I love the movies and the animated ones. The Vapors. Loved when they went to Japan. I don't know if I've seen that episode. Ooh, or that movie. Yuki's learning some things about Andy tonight. 4 is a floor plan. A floor plan. I almost misread it right at the beginning. Anyway, a floor plan. It is a floor plan for an interesting house. Modeled on sexy person legs. Sloppy writing is my kind of writing. Yes. 4 is a squared-faced boy hiding his eyes by putting his hair bangs down. Oh God. So when I was in high school, and maybe my first year of college, I had really long bangs because I wanted to be emo. And once I used gel to make them like 3 or 4 spikes just coming down over. Oh my God, if I could find a picture of this, it would be the most embarrassing thing ever. I just had like 2 or 3 spikes and like skateboard clothes, and like I think I had like spiky bracelets or something. I wanted to be punk so bad, but I was so bad at it. That would be a perfect image for this 4. Square-faced boy with 2 little strands of spiky hair coming down. That could work. I don't remember if I was shy or not. I was a little shy. That could work for you. But it's always written in the correct order. All right. Why does that number 4 have a Roman numeral 5 in it? Interesting. Interesting. Nani?
Roman.
Let's go ahead and pull up the Roman numeral 5 for Yuki. Roman numeral 5. There's the Roman numeral 5. It's just a V. Do you guys see a V in here in the 4? I don't know. Oh. The rough writing one definitely looked like it had a Roman numeral 5 in it. Yeah. I unironically grew a rat tail in late elementary school. When I was in preschool, I had a giant tail going for quite a few years, and my favorite preschool teacher, I still remember her because I wanted to be called Luke Skywalker. I wanted my name to be Luke Skywalker when I was 3 or 4, and that was the only teacher who would refer to me as Luke Skywalker. So I loved her, and she would also measure the rat tail for me every day. What was her name again? I used to remember it. Anyway, the Ninja Turtles went back to feudal Japan in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 movie. It was a fun time. Oh gosh, we're gonna have to watch that sometime.
私さっきのさ、バグズバニーのさ、あれ口にさ、見えるって書いてあった人がいるじゃないですか。
Someone said that the number 4 looks like Bugs Bunny's mouth. Number 4?
No, 違う?
Did somebody say that the number 4 looks like Bugs Bunny's mouth? I am just laughing out loud at the thought of emo Andy. Oh gosh, I've got some pictures for you guys. Maybe I'll bring some emo Andy pictures to the stream next week, just in case someone reminds me. I spiked my hair in middle school. Thanks, Dragon Ball Z. No frosted tips though. Haha.
ありがとうございます。
I expect some emo Andy pictures in the Discord. We'll see. Reminds me of Bugs Bunny teeth. Bugs Bunny teeth.
この4が？そっか。なんか4って、そのうさぎに関係あるんですよ。
Yuki said that 4 actually has some relationship with rabbits, so that could work for you.
ね、ちょっと説明すると長くなるんですけど。
She said if she actually explained it, it's going to take a very long time, but that means she's going to explain it. Thank you so much, Nala. I appreciate it. Nala Senoj. I tried your method of learning kanji and I've already learned by heart all the JLPT 5 kanji. I'm a little halfway over JLPT N4 list. Guys, have patience and you will prevail. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Nara. I'm glad to hear that it's helping. Nara, because you have donated on the stream, that means Yuki has a new job. Her new job is writing your name in kanji. So she's going to write Nara in kanji first. She's going to work on that while we go through the next parts. Thank you. Appreciate that.
ありがとうございます。
I see the Bugs Bunny mouth. It was hard to do though. Okay. Nice. She was gonna, I think, talk a little bit about the relationship of 4 and rabbit.
言った方がいい？
簡単に言うことができるかな？
4月ってそのさ、古い日本語のその月の名前でうずきって言うんですけど。
Okay, so April in old Japanese used to be called?
うずきっていうか、まあ今も呼ぶけど。
Can also be referred to as うずき。
でそのうっていう字は
Then the kanji for う
はうさぎっていう字書いて
is the kanji for first you write rabbit, kanji for kanji.
そうでそれはそのうさぎっていう字自体は、そのチャイニーズゾディアックの4番目なの。
It's the fourth Chinese zodiac, rabbit, that kanji. Okay, so the fourth Chinese zodiac is rabbit. So 4 and rabbit are actually kind of connected. So using Bugs Bunny mouth or teeth to remember this number 4 would actually be very appropriate.
ちょっと宗教的すぎかな。
Yeah, it has nothing to do with religion. It's astrology.
まあね。
Hi, so Yuki is going to be working on Nara's name as we go through your guys' stories for 4. I knew you were my kind of people. I had a goth phase that is properly cringeworthy. All right, all right. You know, I was a skater boy and I wanted to be emo. Skater boy that wanted to be emo.
あれじゃん。なんだっけ、アブリル・ラビーン。
Avril Lavigne? I think it was pre-Avril Lavigne, but yeah. I was a skater boy. I never said see you later boy. Oh wait, it's Alan, but I use an alias. Oh, it's Alan. Okay. Nara ではない。アランがいい。アレン。アラン。
男の子？
そうそう。Alan. Depends on how you want to pronounce that. Do you want us to say Alan? But there's no A sound. Aran. Aren.
アレンにする？アランにする？
Would you prefer Aren or Aran? So it would either look like this. Dan or aren, pronunciation-wise. Let us know that, because that will change what the kanji are going to be. So let us know which one you prefer, Alan, and we'll get you there.
ね
Well,
待って
I could stick around trying to get kids to sleep. Then I need to go to bed early. Long day tomorrow. No worries, man. Have a good one, Japan Get. Check out his channel and come to Japan Dance as well.
ねありがとうございます
I used to always see a skull wearing sunglasses on the moon. Now I just see a rabbit after learning of the rabbit on the moon. All right, good stuff. Okay, so now I see a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lunchbox, and April is the 4th month of the year, so 4. Very good. And also, wasn't April in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? That's the girl that they all like, right? She's the 4th month of the year, and she has to do with rabbits. It's all coming together, guys. The 4 kanji looks kind of like a winking face. That's all I can imagine. Yeah, I guess that could work. Sure. Why not? Okay, aran datte. Aran.
Okay.
Aran ga ii.
アランで行って
All
み
right,
ます
we've got it. Aran. She's working on it.
と
All right, man. Have a good day, Dan.
はいありがとうございます
Gambarimasu.
ありがとうございますお疲れ様です
4 looks like a window with curtains. A window has 4 sides. Indeed it does. Oh yeah, these one curtain can be kind of, if you look at it here, it can be pulled back a little bit. And this one's still hanging down. So you've got one, and they're also not quite big enough for the window, right? So this one's hanging down here. And then we've pulled this one back. Would you be able to write my name in kanji? So, I would love to, but our whole thing on these live streams is that for everyone who does a donation on the stream, Yuki comes up with their name in kanji. Unfortunately, if we were to do everyone's name in kanji, Yuki would never be able to actually participate in the stream. So we're not just going to write, unfortunately we won't make any exceptions for that. So this is just going to be, because, you know, donations are few and far between, so it's just something a little special we can give to say thank you to those who are able to support us a little bit. So appreciate that, guys. 4 looks like a right-on. Okay. Oh, looks like she's going along. もうできてるかもしれない。
まだ一個しか
Okay, I can't actually see over there. Hey Andy, do we have to mug up the kun and pronunciation or just all the kanji? Mug up. I'm not sure what mug up means. Maybe Australian English. But anyway, I'm assuming what you mean from the context there, that do you need to learn the kun and onyomi? And of course, no, I don't think so. I don't recommend learning any pronunciations for kanji out of context. I may sometimes mention in the lessons, oh, there goes another light. I may sometimes mention in the future lessons whether or not a certain kanji, like a certain kanji used as a radical, is often read a certain way. I may mention things like that, but generally speaking, I would just learn the meanings for the first few hundred, maybe 1,000 kanji, and then just learn words that have those kanji in them, and that will naturally help you learn to read them. So no, I would definitely not recommend doing that. 4 kinds of looks like shoulder blades, but the main thing is that you're looking through a window at them in the shower, maybe. And a window has 4 sides. Sure, that could work. I kind of see that. It looks like this part, right? Right in the middle. The blades are coming together. This story could be very visual for you, for sure. Could work. Lighting still looks good, I think. Looks like a cozier atmosphere. Yeah, it's the wind down show now. That light went out. Now we're sort of winding down. It's a little bit mood lighting. We got the candle going back there. Probably have to put that out soon. Looks like those flames are getting pretty tall. I didn't even know that. I donated because I wanted to give back to you for helping me in my language. Yeah, no worries. We like to surprise people with that as well. So we're not actually like announcing at any point in the stream that that's what we're doing, but if someone does donate a little bit, we like to write the name in Japanese, so little bonus. Thank you, I appreciate that, Alan. No problem, I absolutely understand and support you guys. I literally watch all your videos, and that helps me study Japanese much better. Cheers, you guys. Thank you so much, Shwetha Iyer. I'm glad that the videos are helping you out. Yeah, so Yuki has 1 more kanji to get for your name, Aran, and then we'll pop that up on screen. I'm going to I'm going to finish off the end of the video since we've got lots of 4 down. It's only a few more seconds.
Let us know how many you got right down in the comments. You can learn the next 5 kanji by clicking on this video.
As you can see, there's no video yet. It's not already there, but it is on the website.
Already out. If you don't want to wait, you can continue learning with the official Level 1 ToKini Andy Kanji flashcard deck for Anki on ToKiniAndy.com. We're also releasing kanji series videos early for all the members there, so check it out if you want a head start.
This is my favorite video that I've ever made. This is the Wanga video. I think it's one of the best explanations on the internet for the Wanga particle in English, so I don't always feel that way about my videos. I try to make them as good as I can, but this, I think, is my best video, right there. Anyway, I think we have up to lesson 3 on the website now. That should be done. I was hoping to have a little bit more done by now, but of course, with all the jet lag, I wasn't able to edit as much as I'd planned. So lesson 3 is available on the site, and that's that. All right. Yuki is finished with Aran's kanji. Let's push that up a little bit right there. All right. So Yuki's going to break down your name, Aran-san.
アランのあは、安心とか安全の穏やかなあです。
All right. So the first kanji in your name is safety or something like that. It's also, safe and calm. And this is actually also the first kanji that's often used when my name is written in kanji.
そうだね。あと優しいっていう意味とかがあるんだって。
I can also be kind or easy and things like that. Yeah.
でこのランっていう字はお花のオーキッド。
Oh, okay. And the second one is orchid.
そうだからね、なんか雰囲気的にはなんかエレガントとかそういうのもちょっと含む。
It can also have a
かな、
meaning
イメ
of
ージ
like
的にね。
elegance, an image of elegance. Yeah, very cool.
はい、という感じです。
So that is Aran's name in kanji. Thanks so much for
ちょっと難しいんだけどね。
a little bit different. Yeah, the second kanji is a bit difficult, but not so bad. And that first kanji, an, is the same one, or is the same one that's used in my name. An, do, ryu.
そうだね。
Because it can also be read as an. All right. Oh, we got.
あっちがローバッテリーになってるよ。
Oh, and yeah, but that's fine. That's just our monitor. Thanks for your advice. I was mindlessly learning all the pronunciation. Yeah, no, that's just gonna slow you down. Don't worry about that. Any tips if I want to come to Japan and study? I always felt it would help me study the language better since I'd be around people talking native and so forth. Any tips? I just came over there. I went over there. I still live there, but not there at the moment, to work. So that's the only thing I really know anything about. Excuse me. I don't really know anything about language schools and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I can't really offer any tips on that. There may be some people in the Discord that have gone on and studied at language schools that may have some answers for you. But keep in mind, we do get that question a lot in the Discord, so you might not get a good answer in there either. So unfortunately, no, I don't have a whole lot of advice for you there. Sorry. But with that said, if you can get over to Japan, obviously, it will be a great help in your language learning journey because you'll be surrounded by it all day, and if you go out of your way, you can learn a lot as well, or you can speak a lot as well.
そのさ、ラングエッジスクールってさ、その大学とかのさ、なんかエクスチェンジとかも入ってんの？
まあね、you could also do like it depends on how old you are, of course, or if you're still in school. If you are still in school, you could always try to do an exchange. That can be good. I hope I can donate too because your videos help me a lot, but I'm poor, no money, but thank you a lot and I'm very grateful. Thank you a lot. That's fine. That's fine. Just hanging out and watching the videos is plenty of support. We really appreciate. We appreciate that as well. Thank you for just being here. Like, we wouldn't be able to do these live streams alone. You know, you guys being here make these a lot more fun.
そう。
Having someone to
考
talk
えて
to.
みてもうマジイマジンですよ。私たちがこう2人だけでやっててね。
If we were just talking
変ですよ。やば
with
くない？
nothing to respond to. For starters, the stream would be over in about 15 minutes. We'd watch the video, and then that would be that.
アンディが聞いたらさ、私しか答える人いなくな
Now,
っちゃう
she
よね。
says imagine that. Now, I can imagine that because when I was streaming while we lived in New Zealand, I was streaming the Elder Scrolls Online on Twitch alone. Nobody was watching. I think the most people I ever got in a stream was 7. But most of the time it was 0. So I do know what it feels like to be talking alone. But at least if you're playing a video game, you know, you can just keep playing. But a stream like this would be pretty boring alone, just the two of us. Although the original Genki streams, the original ones, it was like 5-6 people. But that was fun because that was just like hanging out, just talking to friends. Do it again, Andy. I'd always watch. I do have a gaming channel. We haven't streamed in a while, but we do have a gaming channel. I'd like to do that. Although this kanji series is going to keep us very busy, so I don't know how much gaming streams we'll be able to do. I'm new, started watching the Genki series, and it's been so helpful. Glad I was able to catch a live stream too. How long have you been studying Japanese, and what inspired you to learn Japanese? Welcome, and I'm glad that the videos have been helping. Sorry if the visual is cringe or inappropriate. I just thought it might be helpful. No. I'll get to Misa's question. Nick, it's perfectly okay. I don't know if you're still here. The more dramatic and honestly inappropriate the stories are, the easier they are to remember. So that is what it is. It's just in your own mind, so it's not like it's a big deal. What was the question again? How long have I been studying Japanese? 11 years. Yes. I started at the end of... I came in May, and I didn't really start studying Japanese until probably September of that year. So probably exactly 11 years I've been studying Japanese. And what inspired me was that I came to Japan for 1 year, and then decided I wanted to stay longer. And I realized if I was going to be living in Japan for 2 years and not speak any Japanese, I felt like that would be a waste. So I decided to really try and give it a shot. Now here we are.
いやすごいね。タイムフライズってやつ？
あれ? What's going on over here? Why is... Oh, I must have scrolled back on the stream. It's fine. Okay. I got confused there. I just realized that I have no idea what you teach in Japan. I assumed it was English. Is it? I don't do anything in Japan anymore except for this. This is my job now. This is both of our jobs. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to all of your support and all the members of the website. We are able to do this full time. That's the only way that anything like a series like this kanji thing is possible. It literally takes us all of our time. So we appreciate that. I used to be a kindergarten teacher. I started out for 2 years as an English conversation teacher, like an eikaiwa, an English conversation school, after school type of thing. Then for 4 years, I was a kindergarten homeroom teacher, just in English, but I wasn't teaching English, just a homeroom teacher. And then, so that I could spend more time on the YouTube, I was part-time sort of ALT for 2 years. And now for 1.5 years, we've been doing this full-time. Yep. Yuki was a florist.
そうだね。
And then she was sort of a tour guide / jack of all trades for a tourism sort of city promotion type of...
そうだね。
That worked with the city. We've done various things.
So hard to explain だよね。
Hard to explain, yeah.
Many tasks だよね。
She did many different things.
Project and many tasks.
It was a weird company and a tough job. I streamed today to a total of 1 viewers. Me, myself, and I. The most I ever had was 900. Hold on, let's grab that. Was 900. Wow, I'll also be 900. I don't think I could handle that.
Wow.
That'd be a bit too much. But yeah, sometimes it's especially with game streaming, man, it can be one person. Definitely happens. Thank you so much, Senor Serena. Andy, how do you manage to answer all the comments on your website while making content for your YouTube? I sometimes feel bad making comments knowing you already have so much to do. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let us know if there's any names you could work on. How do we answer all the comments? い
や寝ないで頑張ってるんですね。
Yuki said we don't sleep and we work hard. No, the truth is, it does take up a bit of our time, quite a bit of our time, but as long as we prioritize things, it's totally doable. We probably get, depending on the day, between 15 and 40 comments per day on the website. Some of them are easier than others. Some of them are just, hey, what's this word mean? Some of them are, what do these 10 sentences mean? Can you break them down for me? Some of them are writing exercises, which take Yuki a long time. Some of them are challenges, people recording themselves, and so then we both get together when we both have time and we listen to all those and make corrections on them all. Those take some time, but not a whole lot of time. It just takes a lot of brain power because we have to, pay attention to what everyone's saying. But it doesn't take that long.
それになんかメインのやつをやりながらちょこちょこコメントも一緒に
A lot of times, like I'll be editing and she'll be working on something, and then sort of in between we'll try and get the comments in as well. But I'd say in total it probably takes us 6 to 8 hours a week for comments. 6 to 10 hours a week.
そうだね。
Probably something like that. 6 to 10 hours a week for all the comments.
YouTube はちょっと諦めちゃった。
Oh yeah. I don't answer YouTube comments anymore.
諦めちゃったんだよね。ちょっと最初の日だけは頑張ってるけど。
When I release a video on YouTube, the first day I try to answer every single comment, but then after that it's just I can't.
そうだからね、リプライが欲しければ最初。
So if you want to reply in a YouTube comment, you have to comment on the video on day one. Otherwise, there's no way. Almost zero chance I'll answer it. Once in a while, I get notifications for comments on my phone, but there's so many that not many of them actually appear. So sometimes I'll see one and I'll know the answer to the question or whatever it is in my head immediately. And in that case, I will often just touch it and then quickly respond just because I've answered it already. I might as well actually answer it, but mostly I can't keep up with those. That's impossible. So glad you could do this full time, and I really support all teachers. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very happy we can do it full time, and I really enjoy it. We both really enjoy it.
ね、頑張って N4 のリスト作るからね。
We're gonna get that N4 list done for everyone soon.
暗記のやつ今頑張ってるから。
So I'm 28 and I want to pursue translations or maybe. Thank you again, by the way, Senor Serena. I'm 28 and I want to pursue translations or maybe teach English in Japan. I just thought about finishing my N2 and N1 in Japan and finding a job there. Yeah, that could be something you could do. Teaching English is obviously the easiest way to get here. You teach English and then maybe you switch to a different job after 6 months to a year. But that's definitely the easiest way. That feeling when the kanji for Joe's name is onna. That would be fun. That's why I still remember kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Love Japanese so much and learning several other languages too. Nice. This is totally off topic, but the color coding thing for grammar, did you come up with that or nusunda it from someone else? I came up with that.
盗んだのはね、ちょっとね。
I figured for, I don't know if you're still here or Lame Me the Clown. It's very clever regardless, thanks. Since Japanese has no spaces and most people who are starting out don't actually know how to read the characters very well yet, I figured adding color would make it a lot more understandable. So no, I'm pretty sure I came up with that. We're gonna time out this a little bit. No, I do not speak Chinese. I only speak Japanese, unfortunately. An ALT is an assistant language teacher, in case anyone was wondering. Yes. Let's see what else. How did Yuki learn English? From? Because of you? No, it actually has nothing to do with me. Yuki, how did you learn English?
いや、中学と高校と大学と
in junior high school and high school and university.
しかも働いてからもなんか市役所のなんか安いやつやってました。
And even after she became a working adult, she started taking cheap classes at the city hall. They're very affordable for learning English. So mostly school, she learned English. And she spent some time. She also spent some time in the States. She did a study abroad in Singapore for a month.
そ
You did some time in America.
う。そ
A couple weeks.
う。そう。
Yeah. So she worked hard. And in high school,
あ、そう。
your class was a special English class.
あ、そうで
You
す。
had like a bunch of extra
そうそうそ
English
う。
classes. So mostly school.
なのにね、全然喋れないんだね、この。
She still feels like she can't speak, but she's able to keep up pretty well. She's able to communicate with my family and stuff like that. So.
だけどね。
Not as much as she'd want to, of course. She'd have to spend a lot more time here for that to work. We spend, since we teach Japanese, we spend all of our time speaking Japanese.
そ
So.
う、ネイバーだよ
It's
ね、
what it
ここではマジで。たまになんか、えへっていう顔で寝てます。
Nick, I agree that not having too many people on a stream can be much more, it helps you connect with people on the stream a lot easier. I think this is probably almost the perfect amount because I can pretty much respond to everything almost, but it doesn't get too overwhelming. But also, it doesn't get too slow to where I have nothing to respond to and have to come up with stuff myself. So it's like the perfect amount. For my kanji, can I get a female version of Andy's name? Oh.
Andy's
Senora
name,
Sudden. I don't know if you're
Andy's
still here.
name.
A female version of Andy's name. So,
Andy's name.
Andy, maybe Andrea, but let's go with Andy. Andy with an
okay.
I. And let's make it feminine for Serena's donation. Sorry I missed that message. I don't know if you're still here. She's going to work on an Andy that is more feminine.
More feminine ね。
All right. Do you think an online exchange is good if going there physically isn't an option? It's better than nothing, yeah. Like I learned to speak Japanese mostly by doing Skype lessons. And by lessons I mean I just spoke to the teacher for an hour in Japanese, and that was it. That's all I did. I did that a couple times a week. Sometimes only once a week, but sometimes 5 times a week. Can I teach English there as an Indian? I'll be honest, it'll be a little bit more difficult for you than an American or Canadian. It will be more difficult, but it's not impossible. If your English is good enough, then it should be fine. I get tired when reading old Pokemon games, like it stresses my brain too much or something. So many kana. Yeah, it's very hard. They started from Pokemon White and Black, adding kanji. There's no furigana, but it's usually pretty easy kanji, so it's definitely a good place to start if you can read some kanji. With that said, I started playing Pokemon Green a few months back on a Game Boy Color, and I found it to be good practice for katakana. I kind of liked it. But yeah, it can be very confusing to have all that kana. All right, sweet. So glad I stuck around for the stream for once. Now I must sleep though. The kids are gonna wake me up in 6 hours whether I like it or not. Oh no! Oyasumi, Kaylee, I'm sorry if I missed you. I don't have the timestamps on, so it might have been a while ago that you said that. Let's pop up the timestamps.
来てくれてありがとうございます。
Oh, is it there? It might still be here. Probably gone. But anyway, if you watch it later. Thank you so much. Did some time in America. You know, Jacob, when I was saying that did some time in America, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, after I said it, I was like, it sounds like I said she was in prison in America or something. That is not what I meant. I'm very tired now. It's 11:40, and we've been going to bed at like 9:30 recently. So I think we're going to be done in a few minutes. But I'm so happy I could finally attend your live session. Somehow I almost always miss your live streaming. You both absolutely made my day. Thank you for hanging out. こちらこそありがとうございます。刑務所, so just like jail. What is the best way to say hi to someone in Japanese? Because I heard no one says konnichiwa anymore. I hear konnichiwa lots. What I like is when, for one thing, if it's someone either like a friend, especially, it's kind of masculine, but even if it's not a friend, a lot of times when people are hiking, if you pass someone on a hiking trail, guys will often just say, os. Os. That's quite good. Ohayo gozaimasu or ohayo is quite common if it's early in the day. I've seen konnichiwa. I didn't know that konnichiwa wasn't that common anymore. I think it's fine. Domo, you hear sometimes if it's someone you're acquainted with. but konnichiwa is perfectly fine. The new Switch games have furigana over the dialogue, which is nice. Yes, the new Switch games are quite good for practicing Japanese. 二人とも小さい日ですか?小さい日ですか? I don't know what that means. But I'm assuming some Chinese, maybe? I keep clicking on weird things here. Some old games have really mutilated, crushed down kanji. Yeah, I agree, 100%. I've just learned hiragana and have been learning katakana. I only started a few days ago. What should I learn after those two? Then you could just start jumping in, learning words, learning kanji, learning grammar, whatever you want. The real question is who was your favorite starter from Generation 1 of Pokemon? That is a good question, Alex. Bulbasaur.
Okay.
But my first starter ever was Pikachu, because my first Pokemon was Pokemon Yellow. So my favorite starter was Pikachu. And then it was Bulbasaur. Although I think I've played all three starters before. Thank you, Garrett. I appreciate that. Can you give me a really cool Japanese movie that I can watch over and over to work on my listening skills? How about Spirited Away? I like that one. It's a good movie. I would watch that one over and over again. Where have you lived in Japan and where do you live now? Nagano, Japan. I still live in Nagano, Japan. Right now, I'm in America visiting family, but I live in Nagano. Right, we're gonna apologies. I'm gonna put you in timeout. Just because, but you can come back in a little bit. It's midnight where I live, so I'm going to go to bed soon. Love the stream a lot. Fancy Winnie the Pooh. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging out. Which books do you recommend for N4? Everything is going to be hard at N4, to be honest. Books. I recommend graded readers at N4, to be honest. There's a bunch of free ones on Tadoku. We've got some content. Satori Reader's another good place. But any actual book, you're going to struggle hard. But you can try. For example, maybe, what was the one? Kiki's Delivery Service is pretty hard, but maybe doable. I really enjoyed a book called Kiri no Mukou no Fushigi no Machi. Let me open my Kindle app. I'm getting really tired. Not much longer. As soon as Yuki finishes the feminine Andy, we're probably gonna call it a night. Cause I'm struggle bus. All right, let's bring this up. This is my Japanese Kindle right now. We've got JoJo. We've got Konosuba, Harry Potter in Japanese. Pokemon manga, which are quite good, but actually more difficult than you'd expect. More JoJo. Flying Witch. I haven't actually read it. I just got it because I heard it was really good for learners and I wanted to check it out to see if it was. And it is actually very easy Japanese. So Flying Witch might be a good manga for people to start out with. Lots of JoJo, Steins Gate. Those are all going to be very difficult for starters. I don't recommend those. This is a good book. I only have the second one on my Kindle. But I don't have it installed. Anyway, it's Zenitendo. It's I guess I read the first page. So let's go back to the title page. So Zenitendo, Fushigi Dagashiya Zenitendo. This is about sort of a magical bookstore, or no, a magical random item store. They have all kinds of random items, and this book I think is very fun. It's very fun to read, and I think it will be good for maybe N4 to N3. So that's a good one. Lord of the Rings in Japanese is definitely not a good one. The Hobbit's also very, very difficult for beginners. Harry Potter's not so bad. ReZero is going to be way too hard. The one I'm looking for is this. Tokyo Kakeru Shoujo. That one's not bad. Shonen to Inu, that one's not too bad. And this one I really like. This is the one I was looking for. This is Kiri no Mukou no Fushigi na Machi. I found this book to be very approachable. So this one, I enjoyed this book. It's not going to be easy, but I personally liked it. So there's some ideas for you. Konosuba is so good. I haven't read it yet. I picked it up. It was on sale, I think, so I picked it up. Best Godzilla movie, I don't know. Someone had old Japanese computers at the Vintage Computer Festival Midwest, including an old Famicom with a keyboard, and yet the low-res kanji, don't know how anybody read that. It's very difficult. They're very hard to see. Very hard. Have you ever seen the original, what's that tactics game that's really popular? Fire Emblem. The original Fire Emblem. I tried to play that on Switch, on the Nintendo, app. Couldn't do it. All right. Yuki's struggling with feminine Andy.
そうなんですよ。
Except I think we gotta end the stream because I'm gonna fall asleep. It's really hitting me. I think I still got a little bit of jet lag. So I tried The Hobbit. It's full of nouns and difficult sentence structure and long descriptive sentences sections right off the bat. Yeah, The Hobbit is very difficult. Not a beginner book in Japanese. English, of course, is fine.
案がね、愛じゃとちょっとどうしても読めないんですけど、愛がいいかなやっぱり。
いいよ別に使わなくて。
あまでしか読めなくて、んがどうしても取れないんですよ。
じゃあ、んがいるってこと？
そうか、あんで2文字のやつを作んなきゃいけないから、なんか4文字になっちゃうのね。
俺の名前じゃないから気にならないよ。4文字だったら別にいいんだよ。Senor Serena said, I saw Kimi no Na wa, don't remind me of that. So that is not the actual book, Kimi no Na wa. That is like a spin-off book or like a separate story. And I read the first 100 pages or something. I was like, this is the most boring book I've ever read. Why is this so popular? And it turned out it was the wrong book. It's not the official one. Don't force it, Yuki. I'll ask again next stream. She's having a difficulty because she was trying to write from I. Oh, she changed it. She was trying to write from the kanji for love, but it can't just be read as ah. It's got to be I. So she couldn't, no matter what she did, she couldn't get it to work with that, which would have been much more feminine. But she's got it.
そうなんですよ。
はい。So this is the three that you chose. Andy. So a feminine version. She's going to explain those to us and then we'll be done for the night.
ごめんね。
No worries.
遅くなっちゃって。
Yeah. I appreciate it.
はい。このあんという字はあんずの木のあん。
Yeah. Okay. So the first an there is anzu. So it's a type of ans. What is the English for ans?
Apricot.
Apricot, right? Apricot. So ans is an apricot.
そう。まあ一応こういう木の名前が出たときはなんかフルーツじゃなくて花のことを指します。一応ね。
Okay, so she's thinking of it as like the flowering an.
まあ
So
その木全体なんだけど一応女の子の名前のときは花の名前。
Okay, when it's used in a girl's name, it's generally used to refer to the flowering tree when the tree flowers. So an.
ででがさっきの安定のて優しいとかなだめるという意味。
So this te is the kindness or the what was the other one that you said? Ante?
ちょっとねさっきのちょっと待ってね今のでを出す。
今言ったことでただ
なだめるなんてわかる？
違うさっき言ったことでいいんだよ。
これだね。
Yeah, so kind.
穏やかとか落ち着いてるってことね。
Right on. Okay.
でこのいはこんな字なんですけど思うという意味があるんですって。
Okay. So this e can be thought of as to think of someone, to have thoughts of someone. Okay. So this is a feminine version of the name Andy.
そうちょっとねなんか
The emo
可愛い
version
字
of
が
Andy.
ねでにどうしても入れられなくて。
Interesting. She said what she struggled with is that the de sound does not have many characters that are like cute or feminine.
難しいのね。
So that was a difficult one. Good challenge you got us there. Thank you again, Serena. I appreciate that.
ちょっと難しいんですけど、これでアンディでお願いします。
RKZ plays. That's a good question. Is relearning kanji after a break for a while easier than when learning for the first time? Break is about a year long. Yes. So while I was in New Zealand, I didn't read or write Japanese for a full year, and I forgot a ton of kanji. But coming back to it was super easy when I went back to try and relearn them. Like it was 10 times easier than when I first learned them, because I didn't really have to go back through the meanings. I'll take that from you. I didn't really have to go back through the meanings. I just learned through words. So I just learned words and how to write those words, and I was good to go, because I could bring back the meanings for them much more quickly. It wasn't like the first time. So, love both of you and your work. Someday I will donate to you. No worries. Thank you. Can't take this for free. That's my gratitude to you. Can't believe you're teaching all of this for free. Well, not everything we do is free. We do have a website where lots of people support, and that's how we're able to do all of this for free. So thank you all for your support, and thank you guys for watching all the time, because that also supports us and helps us to be able to do this. So thank you guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I am ruined. My voice is ruined, but in a good way. I'm happy. Well, thank you guys. Have a great day, great night, and thank you for hanging out. We will see you next week at the same time for the Lesson 2 live stream. Have a good one.
わかりました。みんなも来てくれてありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
ついにね、漢字のレッスン始まったね。
We finally got the real lessons going. I'm excited.
来週は続き頑張りましょう。
はい、頑張りましょう。ありがとうございます。はい、またせーの。また次のビデオで会いましょうね。バイバイ。